due to that out. It'll be interesting to see how the Seagulls can go about things.
Imogen Barnett, of course, did lead the Collingwood Magpies in the VFLW League goal kicking last year, so no doubt they'll probably try and use her as they go through the middle. But as we said, it does throw things out because as much as she's tall and slender, a bigger build is Sabrina Frederick, so as much as they're tall, they're two very different types of forwards.
Yeah, they definitely are. Well, obviously, Sabrina Frederick's been around the AFLW for a long time at Brisbane, Richmond, and now obviously at the Pies. So Imogen Barnett, she's tall, she's much not as big a build as you said, Pete. So two different forward styles. It's going to be interesting how they actually get the ball to her. Obviously, you can't just put it out the front of, as you can for Sabrina Frederick, where she can just run onto a lead and break packs pretty much.
That does lead us into another subject as well. Of course, here on our VFLW pre-game show, we do talk a bit of AFLW naturally. And that is, of course, with the Collingwood Magpies. I have to admit, I'm one of those people that tipped them to finish top two and to take out the premiership when they were at full strength. And then, of course, it has been a season of mini disasters, let's call it. First of all, they lost their co-captain. Brianna Davey went down with the ACL in that first game. Then we had their other co-captain, Steph Chiocci. She's been fighting a foot or ankle injury all season. If you see her on social media, she's always walking around in a moon boot. That's not great. Then you had Chloe Malloy suffer from COVID. She went through the health and safety protocols. And we saw that game against North where she seemed a little bit off the ball. And so we don't know if it was just either good marking by North or is she still feeling the effects of COVID. Ali Blackburn was one of those from the Bulldogs who's talked about feeling the effects of COVID. So is Emma Carney. And then, of course, Ash Brazel, which they were hoping to get back in the second half of the season, says, actually, no, I'm going to sit out the full season and play netball. Sam Mills, that's four quality players that, as much as Chloe's back and hopefully Steph is back, in and out of the side, that really just, not only team harmony, but you take out the four best players at any one time, any team's going to struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not been. I think they've managed quite well, to be honest, with how they've the amount of players they've had out. But today's a pretty crucial day for them in the whole scheme of the season, isn't it, Pete?
Well, let's have a look what they've got. They've got the Bulldogs here at Victoria Park at this ground. If you want to come on down, that is 3:10 p.m. That game will be live on 7 as well. That's a crucial game because, to be honest, the Bulldogs are one of those sides they used to bag out, and then you realised, oh, hang on, they can sneak into sixth spot here. That's how crazy the season's been. But then, just to make matters worse for Collingwood, you got to front Adelaide next week at Norwood Oval after they've come off beating Fremantle. And then in round 10, up against a Richmond side who, I think it's fair, Toby, they've been Jekyll and Hyde Richmond this year in the AFLW. There's been some parts of particularly earlier this part of the season, where they look sensational and look like, all right, maybe they can go for the finals here. And then, of course, like yesterday, then they fell to pieces against Geelong. You're like, who are Richmond?
Yeah, I think 2-6 after 8 games sort of speaks for itself. But, yeah, I did watch that game against Geelong yesterday, and I didn't think they were all too great. Richmond's an interesting team where you just sort of think maybe just because they're the Richmond name that they'll perform well, but they haven't been great this year. And Collingwood, obviously, they've in the AFLW, that is, they've had 3 losses in the last 4 games, with their only win coming over in Perth. So it's going to be a rough end to the year for both sides.
Because the two teams that are on their hammer at the moment both had a draw during the week, and that was the Suns and the Western Bulldogs in a crazy finish. Maybe not as crazy as the GWS St Kilda game, which people are still going, what the hell? But that game ended the draw. So that means there's now 2 teams on half a win behind Collingwood if Collingwood slip up. The Bulldogs will be looking to jump them today in that game, as we mentioned. Then the Bulldogs have to go on the road, but have got the Eagles over in WA. And the Eagles are not strong, as we know. And then, Sam Mills, you got the Bulldogs are going to finish out their season
In Ballarat.
Yeah.
Taking on the Brisbane Lions.
Yeah, sorry. The app isn't quite updated as well, which makes things very annoying. The Lions are a side that obviously we expect to be there at the business end of the season, but what weather will Ballarat bring?
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine, Pete. I think by that time of year, probably similar conditions today, a little bit darker, I reckon. But the surface there at Mars Stadium is in pristine condition, so the players shouldn't have any challenges. I've got the Dogs, unfortunately, going down in that one. I've probably got them 1-1 in the next 2 games. I think they'll beat the Eagles, but I think the Lions will be too strong.
If the Dogs do today pull it out and manage to beat the Pies and then beat the Eagles, and it could all come down to that final game, I mean, obviously, as a working journo in Ballarat, how big is that going to be for the Ballarat community that the Dogs will be playing their first for premiership points, AFLW game there, with a must-win to get in situation?
It'll be huge. The Bulldogs have a great relationship with the city of Ballarat, and Ballarat people, even if they don't support the Bulldogs, they do get out and put on the red, white and blue for that weekend. So I fully expect a pretty strong crowd at that one, regardless of whether they're in finals contention still or not.
And then the other team that was in the question, of course, was the Gold Coast Suns. They've got the fixture coming up of, once I scan through today, playing St Kilda. St Kilda have been close to a win on so many occasions, as we saw against GWS, as we saw against the Lions. Haven't got it done. So the Suns, after a great start, they'll be filthy after drawing against the Doggies. If the Suns manage to beat the Saints, then the Suns will go and play Carlton here in Victoria, which is another winnable game, which seems crazy for a side that won the Wooden Spoon last year. And then they come to round 10, which has become controversial because the Suns were originally scheduled to play Collingwood, according to the original fixture, which would have been crazy. It would have been like, that would have actually been the game of winning you're in. But for whatever reason, the AFL changed it a week ago to say, now you're going on the road to play Fremantle and Fremantle.
Talk about drawing the short straw. That is, it's not ideal. They're going to find it tough, I think, in that final round. I can't see them sneaking into the finals.
So, Toby, taking all that on board as well, do we think that the situation will play out that Collingwood will survive and hold 6th spot in the AFLW?
Well, if they get up today, I think they will. But yeah, I do honestly think it will come down to that Brisbane Bulldogs game in Ballarat. If the Dogs get up here, or even if they lose, I think it's that Ballarat game is going to be a very monumental game in this AFLW season.
We're about 10 minutes away from bounce down here at Victoria Park in Abbotsford. You are listening to WARFradio.com, and you'll be on the VFLW YouTube stream for Collingwood versus Williamstown, both sides 1-1. You've got Peter Holden, Sam Mills, Toby Hansen and Luana Williams with you. In fact, we might see where Luana Williams is. She's down there on the boundary line. Luana, for people that have just joined us at home, what are the conditions like at the moment here at Victoria Park? Not only for the players, but obviously if you're in the local area, the gates are open for the VFLW game, so you can come in and for free. What are the conditions like for spectators?
Well, if you are in the Abbotsford-Richmond area, I would definitely recommend coming along because they are quite lovely spectating conditions. It's probably around 20 degrees. It is overcast. I said before that it is forecasted to clear. I don't know, maybe I perhaps shouldn't be a weather person because that doesn't actually look like it's going to happen. But, yeah, really good conditions for playing and not really much of a breeze either, so it should be quite pleasant.
Thank you very much to Luana Williams down there on the boundary line. The Williamstown side just finished their warm-up. Collingwood have already got into the rooms. That will be an ideal opportunity for us to take a break. When we return, we'll have the bounce down of this round 3 clash, Collingwood and Williamstown at Victoria Park.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Lowe, long jump gold medalist and world record holder. When I was 15, I was waiting to catch my train. In a split second, my life changed. As the train arrived, the crowd surged forward. I was too close to the platform edge, lost my balance, and fell into the path of the oncoming train. I was in a coma for 2 weeks, and it took 2 years to walk again. So please, stand back, look up, and stay rail safe.
The average person spends 44 minutes a day thinking about food. At Oz Harvest, thinking about food is a full-time job because we're always looking for new ways to nourish our country and combat food waste and hunger. Every day, we rescue quality surplus food across Australia and deliver it to those who'd otherwise go hungry. And you can help. Every dollar donated to Oz Harvest can provide 2 meals to people in need. Visit ozharvest.org. Thought for food.
Hey.
Hi.
Yo, what's up? We're here for Rad.
Here's a simple word of advice.
Don't drink and drive.
If you plan to drink, plan ahead.
Give up the keys.
Either drink or drive. Don't mess around trying to do both.
When you drink and drive, you're risking the life of yourself and the lives of everybody on the road.
It takes a lot of courage to convince a friend not to drive after they've been drinking, but you might just be saving their life.
So if you plan to drink, plan not to drive.
Been playing for a while, sweet kicks, 'cause footy makes you smile, sweet kicks football, you're getting ready for the trials, gotta go the extra mile. Sweet Kicks Football.
Not always hearing that sweet sound when you kick the ball? Need to develop your footwork or explosive speed? Want to take the next step in your footy career? Then you need Sweet Kicks. More info on our Facebook page or go to our website, sweetkicksfootballacademy.com.au.
Gotta go the extra mile. Sweet Kicks Football.
There's jumpers, hoodies, and tees for you at leaguetees.com.au.
Leaguetees.com.au is your place for retro footy gear with designs created by local artists that you won't find anywhere else. Plus, their unique range of women's footy tees help raise funds for Indigenous literacy programs. Get online and start shopping today.
leaguetees.com.au.
We are the Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation, striving to empower our most marginalised communities through literacy and education. Literacy is having a voice. Literacy is opportunity. Literacy is dreaming big. Literacy is freedom. Today, you can help end inequality and give every child access to our life-changing and proven literacy programs. Your support is vital. Donate now at alnf.org.
Storms are Australia's most costly natural disaster. Getting prepared now is the best way to protect people and to minimise damage to your property. Keep your gutters, downpipes and drains clear and stash any loose items in yards or on balconies. Trim any trees and branches hanging too close to your house and keep your roof in good repair. For emergency help, call the SES on 132 500.
Feeling a little down? Drop into the Reach Out website at reachout.com.au and let us put a spring back in your step. When times are tough, clear your head at reachout.com.au.
It's women's Aussie rules. They're doing what they love. They're fast and tough. Don't mess with them because they can get rough. Are you ready for the challenge? Are you ready for the match? It's the call of the game. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
Indeed it is the VFL Women's Match of the Day here on WARFradio.com at the ground, delay free. So if you bring your little transistor radio with you, just tune in to 89.1 FM and hear us delay free at the ground. Or you can watch us on YouTube right now on the VFLW YouTube channel. We've also tweeted out the link via our Twitter account at Wolf Radio, also on our Facebook as well. You can watch the match of the day between Collingwood and Williamstown. Peter Holden, Sam Mills, Toby Hanson and Luana Williams here at Victoria Park in Abbotsford. We've already had 3 games played so far in round 3. Toby Hanson, what were the results of the game from yesterday?
Well, we kicked off at Latrobe yesterday, Peter. It was the Hawks and Darebin Falcons. That one ended pretty comfortably for the Hawks, 9-14-68, played 0-2-2 was the Darebin Falcons. So the Hawks got another win for the year, and then we headed down to Deakin Uni down in Geelong. It was 7-10-52. The Cats played one behind Port Melbourne. And then yesterday afternoon, Casey versus North. It was 6-8-44. The Demons playing the North Kangaroos, 3-6-24.
And so far, that means for Hawthorn, they go to a 2-run record after that win against the Darebin Falcons, who now are zip and 2. For the Casey Demons, great start for them for the year, 3-0 at the moment, and Port Melbourne struggling there. Geelong, 3-0, and if things go as they keep going, after Essendon had 2 big wins so far, and Essendon playing Carlton today, if Essendon do win and keep on track, if things go as planned, we could be heading for a big round 6 when Geelong and Essendon meet. And what's even better news is that same day, or at least same weekend anyway, on a Saturday at Cardinia Park in Geelong, is supposed to be the VFL men's season opener between Geelong and Essendon. So fingers crossed instead of a Deakin, they might move that game to Cardinia Park and we could have a big double-header day.
Well, one could only hope, Pete. But not only Geelong 3-0, they're also sitting at 526%. So,
if that blows your mind, just read me the Essendon percentage at 2 and zip.
yeah, a bit over $1,000, isn't it?
1,108, I think it is. Just quietly chugging along okay. But to be fair, they have played two weaker sides in the Bulldogs and Port Melbourne so far, and today against Carlton we might start to see where they really do sit. The Williamstown side has now come out onto the ground. They're doing their respective warm-ups, coming out of the Sherrin stand and the Collingwood Football Club. Of course, minor premiers last year, the last reigning premiers for a grand final played in 2019. Might be time to start getting some tips. We might head on down to Luana Williams at the boundary line. Who do you see winning today and by how much?
Ooh, how much? That's going to be difficult. There was quite a lot of energy from Williamstown when they just ran out of the shed, so I think they like their chances today. In saying that, I think I'm going to go with Collingwood being there at home.
Going with the Pies at home. Come on, give me a margin, Luana. Don't sit on that fence. Give me a margin.
2 goals.
Thank you very much, Toby Hansen. For the record today, who wins by how much?
Well, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to go the upset. I'm going to go Williamstown, one of the great Victorian football clubs, one of the great Victorian footy jumpers. I'm going to go Williamstown under 15.
Sam Mills.
I've got Collingwood at Victoria Park. You can't go past them. 8 points.
At the risk of being run out of here, I'm going for Williamstown by 4 points.
We're split.
I think we're going to be in for a cracker today. I think we've got two evenly matched sides that are going to have an arm wrestle, and it will come down, not quite to the last kick and a 50-metre penalty, as the GWS St Kilda game was on Wednesday night, but I think we could be in for quite the thriller here. Crowd at the moment, as we look around Victoria Park, probably built up to around 200 or so. Understandably, some may not be wanting to come back twice because of the double-header, but for those that have absolutely nothing on today, come on, it's a Sunday. Come on down. There is a free entry into the VFLW, and then, of course, obviously, you've got to pay your $10 to get into the AFLW match. Conditions looking absolutely perfect. Just a reminder, it is almost 9:45 a.m. There is also a stream happening on afl.com.au. That stream is the match of the round between the Bulldogs and the Saints. Julian Montesano and Julian Marcus on the call for that one. And don't forget, coming up at 1 o'clock today and on YouTube at 2 p.m, Carlton and Essendon. The Magpies have just broken from their huddle. Toby Hansen, for the people who have just joined us and may have seen the teams in the week, the big out, of course, for Collingwood is Eloise Chaston is out, won't be playing AFLW or VFLW today. We were talking up in pre-game how Williamstown going to handle her. I mean, how do you adjust the Williamstown plans now that you don't have to worry about Eloise Chaston?
Well, I think it's a big weight off the shoulders if you don't have to worry about her. And they'll probably be licking their lips thinking there's no Sabrina Frederick or Abby Maloney to think about this week in the VFL fixture. So I think for the Seagulls, I think it's a very similar game plan, but one big out for the Pies.
Looks like it's going to be Serican King to start the ruck contest here at Victoria Park. Williamstown will be king to the Yarra Fall ends. Collingwood kicking to right of screen, the Sherrin stand. And just about all is in readiness. Everyone is off the ground, and we're going to get underway with the first term here in round 3. And the person to get you started is Sam Mills.
Here we go. Yet to bounce the ball. It's still on the ground, but the umpire's got it now in his hands. And we are ready to go here at Victoria Park. It's King and Sarek in the ruck. And the ball goes up. Even tap. Collingwood in the midfield. They've got it. Bursting forward. Now Williamstown coming away with it. Great tackle there. Still bouncing around in the middle. No clear possession so far. The umpire might rein this one back in.
We'll take it back. Aaron Mead had the football there at the bottom of the pack, and we'll throw the ball up in the air, and away we go again. Just knocking around Sarah King. Couldn't quite get on the end of it. Watching on the outside of the pack is Molly Edmond. Umpire blows the whistle, and once again we'll have another ball up right on the bottom of the deck there. Might be Tala Danuccio. She'll be in under on a lot of things. And it looks like we've already got Sarah King coming off the ground at the moment. Might have had a bit of blood on her hands. Got off before the blood rule was spotted and replaced by Tricia Cowan. Umpires pulled out a free kick out of this contest. And it's going to be a Magpies ball, and they're going to switch now towards the wing position. Awkward bouncing football. Trapped okay then. I think it was Cowan who managed to get the hand pass off. Intercepted, though, with a kick along the ground by Strafford. Strafford now soccers on the ground, gets towards the half-forward flank position. Neve O'Connor comes out to meet it, very close towards the boundary line, and the ball will go over and out. And because it was kicked along the ground, that counts as a last disposal rule, and that means it is a free kick off the Collingwood boot, and that means Eliza Strafford has it for the Seagulls. Going to the Yarra Falls ends. She tries to go with a spearing pass. Just a bit short of Stepnell. Couldn't quite get the full distance. Stepnell tried to lay on the tackle, but it's a Pies ball coming off the half-back flank. Awkward bouncing ball towards the centres square, and coming out to meet it was Mead. She was immediately wrapped up on that occasion, and the umpire says, I'll take the football back. Tackle laid on by Xander. Some early thoughts from Toby Hansen.
Very congested game. Demi Hallett having a good start, though. A lot of tackles. There's another one again in the blue hair for the Pies.
Another ball up here on the half-forward flank. 2 rucks go at it. 1 down by the Pies, but it's Williamstown who almost get possession of it. It's going towards, and there's Hallett again with a fantastic tackle. As Toby said, very congested so far. Another ball up. It's Smith in the ruck for the Pies with King off the field. Tackle there by Bridie Kennedy, but it's going to be a free kick going the way of the Pies. Launches it to the edge of the square. Fantastic tackle by Erin Mead. It'll be another ball up. Yet to break this contest open. Rucks go at it. Collingwood inside 50 for the first time. It's all Williamstown. That could be a free kick. It is a free kick. Williamstown win it, and they'll be able to rebound out of 50 here.
And it's with Shani Whining deep in defence. She's just looking around for some options. Elects to go down the central corridor. It's a long, high ball. Stepner was there, spoiled out of her hands by her own teammate. Wanting to get in there is Sarah Storer, and the umpire blows the whistle and says, I'll ask for the football back, please, and we'll restart play once more. Umpire checks behind him, throws the ball up in the air, and away we go again. 1 out on that occasion by Sarek, but it went straight to ground. Bridie Kennedy was immediately wrapped up on that occasion by the 52, which we don't have. Thank you, Pies. We'll just get that confirmed in just a moment. And Danuccio tried to go through on that occasion, and once again we'll call for a ball up, and we'll get some further thoughts from Toby Hansen.
Yeah, this game still hasn't split open. It's very evenly contested at the moment, just sitting on that wing at the minute as the Pies look to break forward here.
And that's what they're going to do through Molly Edmond, and she goes long inside 50, well-weighted ball. Marking it on the paint there is Imogen Barnett. So Barnett with the pill, looking around for some options. Too far out to score. Gets on the right, gives it a hike right towards the top of the square. Was looking in the direction of Hales, and a hurry kick off the carpet. Is that through? It is. And the Pies will get there first. They go to 1 straight 6. Williamstown yet to score, and you can put that one down to Matilda Zander. Thoughts from Toby Hansen?
Well, they finally broke the game open just as we were calling it. Something out of nothing for the Pies. It was spillage out the back. The Williamstown defence, for whatever reason, didn't feel like punching it through or punching it out for a throw-in.
Fantastic work by the Pies. They strike first. Can Williamstown respond? Crowd building here at Victoria Park. Still some people spilling in. Big day of footy to come.
There's something great sitting amongst the Collingwood and the Williamstown faithful, hearing every call, every crowd call.
Absolutely. Like you said, 2 traditional teams. Rucks go at it. And it's another Collingwood clearance this time. Inside 50 now. Ball's on the ground. Umpire might call for this one.
I'll make a correction as well. Earlier mentioned 52 being I thought it might have been Storer, but it's actually Ebony O'Day wearing the 52. There was a late jumper change there for the Collingwood Football Club as the hurry kick by Hannah Bowie out of the contest is going to be intercepted by the Seagulls in defence. They lead by a goal at the moment. 1 straight 6-2, no score. Looking in the direction of Stepnell. Ball went over her head. Dribbling ball. Bowie may try and pick it up near the half-forward flank here for the Pies. Broadcast side under pressure. Stepnell went in for another crack at it. Cleland again for Williamstown. Couldn't quite get it going. Magan jumps in there, and the umpire says that will be a free kick going the way of the Seagulls. Elsa Magan has the football, screaming for someone to lead to her because all she sees is a congested field ahead. She goes in that direction, flying high. O'Connor managed to stand tall after the fly from McCarthy. Ball on the ground, and the umpire comes in and says, no prior opportunity, and I'll ask for the football back, please. Ebony Road laying the tackle there.
Rucks go at it, ball goes up. It's Smith who wins the tap. Bridie Kennedy tackled. She gets the handball out. Kawa sends it forward, but it's all Collingwood. Hales still a little bit congested in the midfield. Williamstown break forward. And it's a kick inside 50, and it's going to get out the back here. It's Bryce. Bryce off the ground. Fantastic tackle. Collingwood saving that one. It's Katie Lee. Tapped across for a rushed behind. Williamstown hit the scoreboard for the first time. 0-1-1 against the Pies, 1 straight 6. Pies to kick it out of their defensive half now. Fantastic mark by Shani Whiting though. It'll come straight back in. She's looking for options. A few gathering on the edge of the goal square. She's going to bump it long. She does go in that direction. Big pack. It's punched away. Collingwood may have the better of things here. It's still in dispute. Handball out, Williamstown. Snap on the boot. Stepnell just through for a minor score. Williamstown now hitting the scoreboard. 0-2-2.
4 points the difference here at Victoria Park in Abbotsford. You're on the VFLW Match of the Day on wharfradio.com and on the VFLW YouTube stream. We wait for the ball to be brought back into play. It's a low spearing kick up the line, and it's going to be intercepted by Gabrielle Bunweg-Webster. She has the football about 45 metres out from goal, looking for some options to try and square it up. She thinks about giving the hand pass. Will she go for the 1-2? Not quite. The snap from the boundary line is well wide and gets shuffled through for a minor score. Williamstown 3 behind. Collingwood 1 straight 6. We'll get some thoughts from Toby Hansen.
Well, Williamstown are just trying to pierce that Collingwood defence, and they're doing an all right job at the moment. Haven't been able to convert with Price and Stepnell both kicking behind, both known goal kickers as well.
And the kick is short to Hannah Bowie, so Bowie now goes with a kick up the line, managing to spot up Bella Smith. Smith with the ball, half-back flank, broadcast side at Victoria Park. Her side up by 3 points. She goes on the left, going up the line, trying to find Imogen Barnett. Goes for the fly up against Hunter. Brought to ground, going in hard as Tripodi. The umpire said illegally. And Ebony O'Day not happy with the attention. Gives her a little shove and goes, don't you know who I am? And Ebony O'Day says, come to me. I need some leads. I want to go short. She goes with a low spearing passer, Hannah Bowie. Whoops, went through her hand like a piece of soap. Ball trickling towards the boundary line. Nicole Howe sees the ball over and out. And the umpire says, we'll throw the ball back into play between centre wing and the half-forward flank for the Seagulls. They trail by 3 points heading to the Yarra Falls end.
Small period of dominance here for the Seagulls. Collingwood just can't get it out of their defensive half. Umpire throws it in. Rucks go at it. This is Bowie. She's going to pick it up off the turf. A little bit slippery again. Great tackle there, but no, it wasn't. It's going to be a free kick going the way of Collingwood, and they will get it out of their defensive half. This is Bunker on the broadcast wing. A little bit congested on the way forward, but she finds a target. Great interception there from Williamstown with Wright. And it'll be another throw in just on the half-forward flank for the Pies.
Right in front of our broadcast position, WARFradio.com. And if you come to the ground, you can hear us delay free on 89.1 FM. As the ball is thrown back into play. Went through the hands there of Bella Smith, who couldn't hang on to it. Hurry kick by Serick up the line. Going to be intercepted by Neve O'Connor. Slammed it straight on the boot. One bounce. The ball goes almost inside 50. Trapped on the foot there of Camilleri. She goes to ground immediately. Umpire blows the whistle and says, I'll ask for the football back, please. And we'll try and restart the play right on the paint. Pies heading towards the Sharon stand end. If you're watching on YouTube, to the right of screen. Ball brought to ground. O'Neill went without it. Kennedy immediately caught by O'Neill and from Hallett. And the umpire said, you try to take him on, so that will be a free kick. Demi Hallett with the footy. Gets going on the right boot. It's an awkward mongrel punt going inside 50. Got smacked away at the very last moment there by Ella Baxter. And the ball will go over the boundary line and out of bounds. Being chased over by Camilleri on that occasion. Once again, your match analyst for this morning is Toby Hansen.
Caitlin Bunker for the Pies, already 5 touches in the opening 10 minutes. She's sitting at this season 17 touches a game. So maybe another dominant display from her this afternoon.
Bunker and Hallett very busy so far. Ball's thrown in. Deep in the Collingwood forward 50. It's going to be another ball up. No side able to get a clean possession. Can Collingwood hit the scoreboard here again? Ball goes up. The Pies, they might get a clean one here. Scrubby little kick forward. Still on the turf. Nobody able to get a clean possession until Barnett. She kicks it around the corner. It's all Williamstown. That'll go out for another throw-in.
3 points the difference here at Victoria Park. Collingwood 1 straight 6. Williamstown 3 behinds. Umpire will throw the ball back into play and will land at a spot at about 35 metres out from the Pies' goal. Back in, went straight over the head there of Cowan. Ball spills the pocket. Emmons out there on the wide side if they wanted her. Neal lent it to go with the kick but got brought down to ground as she tried to put boot to ball. Emmons goes in one more time. So does Cleland as well. Can't get the footy out. On the outside of the pack, O'Neill, but the ball is tripled over the boundary line and out of bounds. Seen over by Bridie Kennedy, and once again will call for a ball in. You got Peter Holden, Sam Mills, Toby Hansen, and Luana Williams here on broadcast. Hope you're enjoying our coverage of this round 3 clash. Umpire said there's holding in the ruck contest, spotted by the umpire off the ball, and that will be a free kick going the way of the Seagulls. It's Bridie Kennedy who'll give the ball off to the player that was infringed, and that's the number 9 in Ruby Tripodi. So Tripodi from deep in defence elects to go sideways. Taking the mark there is Erin Mead, her captain. Mead draws the player and then goes up the line towards the half-back flank. Barnett managed to get a hand in there. Bowie is trying to push and shove off the ball. Cowan with a little soccer off the carpet. And now another little chip forward as well, going close towards the boundary line. Trying to come out there, as Hales kicked around the corner towards the top of the goal square. Dangerous spot here for Williamstown to try and keep it out. Stacks on the mill. The umpire's going to circle like a sheepdog. Erin Mead's hailing a cab. And the umpire says, I agree with you. And that will be a free kick going the way of the Seagulls.
Tough call there, I have to say, but it is the Seagulls who will try and find their way out of the Collingwood forward 50. A little bit of a reversal of the earliest 5 minutes of this quarter. That's punched. Still stays in play. Williamstown with possession on the outer wing. It's bouncing ball. Umpire's picked out a free kick here going the way of the Pies. Still Williamstown not able to get it out of their defensive half. The Pies will go sideways here. This is Ebony Rowe. Just trying to find a teammate to kick to. Goes to the edge of the forward 50. Contest there. Unable to mark. But the Pies maintain possession for the moment. The ball spilling around. Williamstown tapping it forward. But the Pies back in control once again. In the middle of the ground now. That's Hales. She pumps a ball to the edge of the square. But again, it's Williamstown repelling the attack, pushing them forward up the ground. Very congested game. The umpires found another free kick here going the way of the Pies. Fantastic tackle.
Yeah, and they'll reset it for Caitlin Bunker out there on the wing position on the NAB logo on the city side of the ground. Caitlin Bunker with the footy. Just looking for some options. Wants to go down the line. Gets on the right. Will end up at centre-half forward and almost centre-half back because Bodenweg-Webster couldn't hold on to it. She went back in for the second crack at it. Went with a hand pass over the top. Bridgewater under pressure. Kicked it right into the centre of the ground. Grease lightning style. Sliding on her knees there to swallow the footy. Sophia McCarthy. McCarthy with the footy. Draws the player. Then goes up the line towards the half-forward flank position. Has picked out a Collingwood player, though. And that's Nicole Hales back there. Hales on the right boot, kicks it long and up the line out towards the wing position. Erin Mead jump for the football against Imogen Barnett. She does a little bit of pushing and shoving off the footy, allowing her teammate to go and pick it up, and that may have been Baxter who kicked the ball up the line towards the half-forward flank. Getting back there is Nicole Hales once again for the Pies. She's immediately caught this time by Georges, and the umpire says that's holding the football. Free kick Williamstown. We'll get some quick thoughts from Toby Hansen.
3 tackles at the minute for the Pies. So she's having, for Williamstown. She's having a good shift thus far.
Kicks it long in towards the forward line. Went through a few sets of hands there. Waiting there is Asher Price. Can she try and extract the football? Umpire says it's going nowhere. And we'll call for a ball up. We're 40 metres out from the Williamstown goal. They trail by 3 points. They're 3 behind. Collingwood 1 straight 6.
Williamstown back in their forward 50. Looking to hit the scoreboard with a major here. Plenty of the game being played on that outer side of the ground. It's ping-ponging around in there. Williamstown unable to get a clean possession. Ball spilling around. And again, it'll be a ball up. Can the Seagulls break through here and kick their first of the game? Ball goes up. Collingwood may have an avenue out here. But it's on the forward 50 line. It does. Umpire calls play on. Little bit of a contentious call there. May have been kicking in danger. But the game goes on. Collingwood moving it forward now. It's on the close wing. Emond gets crunched by Lana King. Not rewarded. It'll be a ball up.
Around the ground scores at the moment. Southern Saints 2-2-14. Lead the Western Bulldogs 1-1-4 in their other VFLW game on at this moment. As the ball is thrown up in the air, gets brought to ground. Kennedy going to be first to it. Had a jumper a little bit tugged there by Smith. Umpire ignored it, said you can play on. Ebony O'Day, like a ball in a china shop, tried to go through, but it had stolen out of her hands. Kennedy went one way, then the other. Put it on the right boot, went up the line. Good strong mark being taken there by Strafford, who was under all kinds of pressure from Ricardo. Gave it off quickly to a running Danelle. Danelle's kick isn't so great. She was looking originally for Price, who half started her lead, then lost her balance. And that allowed Collingwood to have an easy mark in defence. And taking that mark, number 12 is going to switch the football. They're going to go towards the half-back flank position. Just a few Collingwood jumper changes at the last minute, so we do apologise. We'll make sure we have all of them for you at quarter time. That's the fun of players coming in and out at the last moment. Up the line by Smeller Smith. Managed to find Hazlitt. Hazlitt has the footy. She is between half-back flank and centre wing. Her kick has picked out the Williamstown captain, though, and Erin Mead. Mead with the footy. Cool, calm and collected. Works around the player and kicks up the line looking for Laurie Stepnell. Ricocheted away from her. Still Williamstown's opportunity through Magan. She's immediately caught, though. Calling for support, but it's come out being a Pies ball. They've gone up the line towards the centre wing position. Xander chasing after it. Xander overran the footy, then had to wrap up her opponent in Talia Wright. And the umpire says, I'll take the football back and call for a ball up. And we'll get some thoughts from match analyst Toby Hansen.
Well, neither team can catch a break at the moment, P. No one can open this game up. If it wasn't for Shani Whiting down there for Williamstown, I think the Pies might have a couple extra goals on their score as they look to go forward here.
Yeah, Pies have got some clean possession, although it is chopped off by the Seagulls. Great run through the middle of the ground. But again, repelling the attack, the Pies. This one will come out to the broadcast wing. Plenty of space here for both teams to run into, and it's run on too well. Pies move it inside forward. This is Barnett. She's into an open goal. It may just run on for her. She's kept it in somehow. Handball's over. Pies should get this one, and they do. No, yes, they do. Pies hit the scoreboard, their second goal of the game.
Two straight 12 for Collingwood, just the 3 behinds for the Williamstown Seagulls. Let's get some thoughts on that from Toby Hansen.
Well, something out of nothing on the siren of quarter time. The Pies going at 2 goals in the lead. And again, another scrappy goal out the back as they broke for Collingwood Magpies. The Williamstown side just can't keep up in that back 50, Pete.
We might get Luana Williams to head on down to have a listen into the Williamstown huddle there and the words from Penny Keula-Reid. But we might also take a quick sneaky look at some stats with Toby Hansen first about who's your leading possession getters at the moment for both Collingwood and Williamstown. Remember, if you're listening at home as well, you can follow along by downloading the VFL app for your live stats. How are we looking at the moment?
Well, Bunker O'Day at the moment lead the Collingwood side, 7 touches apiece. Mead has got 5 for Williamstown, but I think, it's been Bunker and O'Day that have just dominated this game thus far for Collingwood as well. Sorry, Pete. The tackle count has been Xander and, of course, Hallett that are leading the way in that front. And it's shown definitely coming across that half-back line, across that middle section of the ground when Collingwood have gone forward, that they've been the dominant side and quite strong moving forward. And if it wasn't for a couple of the Williamstown defenders, that they would be in a bit more trouble, Pete.
And I think the number 4 might be Imogen Barnett. I think she may have changed her jumper from 77 to 4. We'll try and get that confirmed, but I believe that is the case. And if so, that would be her first goal for the day. So we'll take a break here at quarter time. It is Collingwood, 2 straight 12 leading Williamstown. We'll be back in a moment here on WARFradio.com.
What do you listen to while you're waiting for the next VFLW game on Wharf Radio? Do you long for the days when radio stations played music that you knew without being constantly bombarded with ads and by announcers who want to make it about themselves and not about the music? Welcome to GoRadio.live. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, playing the very best music of the past 70 years. You can listen at www.goradio.live, or better still, download the free GoRadio.live app for your Apple or Android device. GoRadio.live. It's radio as it should be.
Life can be really tough when you or a close family member has cancer. But if you're 12 to 25, Canteen's in your corner. Canteen provides whatever practical and emotional support you need, from connecting you with other young people who get what you're going through, to helping you develop new skills to cope, and just bringing back some fun into your world. So if cancer's messing with your life, check out canteen.org.au. And remember, Canteen's in your corner.
If you've had something stolen,
or if you've had property damaged, you need the police, not the sirens. If you've lost something or found something valuable,
or if you want to register a party or let us know you're going away on holiday, you need the police, not the sirens. When you need the police but not the sirens, you can now report these incidents online at police.vic.gov.au or call 131 444.
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
No matter what your age, most of us played sport when we were young, and there was always one thing that made you want to disappear into the corner or even give up your chosen sport. And that was when somebody on the sideline hurled abuse at either you or a teammate or an official. These are things that make sports so painful for so many kids, and the time has come to stop it. I'm Usman Khawaja from the Australian cricket team. My message is a simple one. Let kids be kids. Let them enjoy their sport. Find out more at playbytherules.net.au.
Indeed, it is the VFL Women's Match of the Day here on WARFradio.com and at the ground on 89.1 FM. It is Collingwood, 2 straight 12, leading Williamstown, just the 3 behinds here at quarter time. We'll get some around the ground scores shortly from the Bulldogs and the Saints. Luana Williams is in the huddle at the moment, having a listen into Penticula Reid from the Williamstown Seagulls. Sam Mills, your impressions on that first term?
Yeah, it was all Collingwood when they got on the break, when they're able to move the ball quickly. It just showed how dangerous they were moving forward, and, you know, that's exactly how they've got their 2 goals. It was a quarter of 2 halves, really, if you can put it down a little bit more. You know, Williamstown, the first 5 minutes, they were unable to move it out of Collingwood's defensive 50, and then the momentum swung Williamstown's way, and then Collingwood got it back towards the end of that last quarter. They'll be hoping to continue that into the second term.
And we had a confirmation. Number 4 is Danica Pedersen. Danica Pedersen, number 4 for the Collingwood Magpies. Originally listed as number 53 on your sheets, but now as number 4, Danica Pedersen. Let's go down boundary side. Luana Williams was listening into Penticula Reid.
Thanks very much, Pete. So Penny was really just wanting them to first of all focus on the defence. She talked about the fact there had been 12 missed tackles. She wasn't overly concerned about what was happening from the Collingwood end, but she wanted that to pick up from Williamstown. And then following on from that, really just saying they had their chances. So just stick to the game plan, stick to the processes, and everything should follow through after that.
Thank you very much to Luana. Top work there on the boundary line. By the way, between the Western Bulldogs and Southern Saints, quarter time there. That's the AFL.com.au stream game. The Southern Saints 2-3-15 lead the Bulldogs 1-1-7. And stats quickly just out of that game. Goal kickers, Shannon and D'Angelo's kicked a goal each for the Saints. 1 goal to Mary Sandrell, as they nickname her Mary Poppins for the Western Bulldogs. 8 disposals, Isabella Shannon. Leading disposal getter for the Bulldogs is Eliza Varr with 8 touches. Here again is Sam Mills to get you underway for the second term.
Smith and Sarah go at it. Sarah King still, we haven't seen her return to the field. It'll be another ball up. Right in the middle of the ground. Williamstown looking to get on the board early and swing the momentum back their way. Ball ping-ponging around in the back of the pack. Eamon's around there, but she can't get in. Umpire's going to call it again for another ball up. Interesting to see how the Seagulls can respond. Ball again. Just can't get out of that little congested zone. Still not out of the centre square. Umpire's found a free kick here, and it will go the way of the Pies. They'll look to pump it forward. They do. Inside 50, just over the head of Barnett. And Williamstown will repel now. Fantastic mark there. Coming out of their defensive 50. It comes out to the broadcast wing. This is Sarek. Can't get clean possession. Right in front of the players' benches. Bridie Kennedy's around the pack, but it'll be a Lassou. Going the way of the Pies. They'll look to bring it back in. Chips it over the top. This is Eamond. Another ball inside 50. Can't quite find the chest. But it will be a chance here. Quick snap. But Danica Pedersen can't quite put it in the right direction.
2-1-13 for the Magpies. 3 behinds for Williamstown. You're on WARFradio.com and the VFLW live stream. And if you bring your radio to the ground, you can hear us delay free 89.1 FM. As we wait for the ball to be brought back into play. Looks like it might be winding deep in defence. Elects to go for a run. And then pumps it long towards the half-back flank, broadcast side. Ebony Day was up, but couldn't quite bring it to ground. Hand pass over the top, was trying to fly in Cleland. Knocked away from her, close towards the boundary line. According to the umpires, Emin kicked around the corner, was trying to find Hazlitt. Bridie Kennedy was just tapping it in front of herself, up against the boundary line, seen over and out in the end by Georgia Ricardo. And that's where we call for a ball. And we might keep Luana Williams just to keep an eye on the Collingwood bench and what the update might be with Sarah King, number 92. Got a feeling, because she was looking at her hand, I'm not sure if she's done a finger, fractured a wrist, or... But Luana, as soon as you have info, just jump in straight over the top for us. As the ball is thrown back into play, umpire blows the whistle and says that's too high. Free kick going the way of Ebony O'Day. O'Day now on the right boot, decides to spear it inside 50. Came off hands. Danuccio had it momentarily. Lost control of the football. Jackson went through. Another hand pass by Cowan under pressure. Seagulls trying to get it out through Kawa. Hurried hand pass. Mead got a run around the back. Now kicks it. Oh, the numbers are favouring the Pies here 2-on-1. Cleland made a great contest against O'Day. O'Day fighting hard with her. Ball just got knocked free. Hazlitt goes in there trying to get a hurry kick bunker, but she got brought to ground. Hazlitt and Kennedy fighting. This has been a battle today, hasn't it been, Toby Hanson? Hazlitt and Kennedy just been going at each other.
It has been, and that was a great little effort from Clean there on debut for Williamstown.
Ebony O'Day very busy early in this second term. Pies will look to bring it back in forward. Eamon can't quite get a kick in. She's pushed. The umpire calls play on. Chance here for Ricardo. She swings it inside. It's a high ball. Pies can't quite complete the mark. This is Cowan. She can't pick it up. A little bit of a push there again, but the Pies will have another chance here. Xander can't quite get it on target. It goes out on the full. Williamstown will look to bring it out of their defensive 50 all the second quarter early here in the Pies forward 50, but they haven't been able to make a substantial mark on the scoreboard as yet. Score remains 2-1-13 to just the 3 behinds for Williamstown so far.
Wanting to bring the ball back in from the back pocket. The Yarra Falls end goes for a run. Uses her full 15, probably a little bit more than that, just quietly. Goes outside the 50 arc. Almost ambling himself as Bridgewater. Got one over the top to Tripodi. Now got it on the right boot. Went long with a kick, and it could be a foot race here. McCarthy was originally chasing after it. Stepnell in there as well. Couldn't get control of the football. Hales was over the top of it momentarily. Nevo Connor, hand pass out. Was pickpocketed. Umpire said, holding the ball. By Jingos, that's a hot potato. And it is a free kick going the way of the Magpies. They're thinking about coming to the wing on the broadcast side. Pointing in that direction was Nevo Connor. Too much on the kick. Tripodi takes the mark on Williamstown, and she's off. Tripodi flat mongrel punt towards the half forward flank position on the broadcast side. Trying to get in there is Strafford. Stepnell got the hand pass out to Clallan. Clallan goes to the top of the goal square. Too good at the back for the Pies. And they'll take the mark. I think it's Caitlin Lee back there. Yeah, Katie Lee's got it, and she'll just switch the play towards the city side of the ground. 2-on-1. The numbers do favour the Seagulls here if they can talk it out. The cavalry's going to be arriving in Camilleri. Umpire from a distance has spotted something and says there was an infringement there, and it's going the way of the Seagulls. Erin Mead, the captain, will give us a brief opportunity to head boundary side and hear from Luana Williams.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, so it looks like Sarah King won't be coming back for the rest of the game. I think you were right. It looks like she might have cut her hand. She certainly doesn't seem to be in a whole lot of pain, but she's not in a jersey anymore, so that it's quite heavily bandaged, so it would have been tough for her to play, I think, to continue on.
So Sarah King done for the day. So they are down one in their rotations and down at all the Pies as a day's immediately wrapped up, and the umpire will ask for the football back. We're on the forward pocket on the city side of the ground. Umpire just clearing the way, and we'll throw the ball up in the air. Stepnell versus O'Connor. Stepnell does her own roving work there. Try to get the hand pass away while Hazlitt was on her hammer. And the umpire says she got rid of it and then got slung to the ground afterwards. So Laurie Stepnell will have the resulting free kick. She is 45 metres out from goal, recruited across from Essendon. Goal scorer at the moment has got 3 players back there. 2 Pies on a Seagull, now evened up to be a 2-on-2 match. Stepnell is thinking about it. She's going to have the shot from 40. It holds high in the breeze. Pack flies. No one can bring it down. No one can get a hurry kick out of the pack. Trying to get in there late is Magan. And the umpire's pulled out a free kick for the Seagulls right at the top of the goal square. And it's going the way of Clalland. We'll get some early thoughts from Toby Hansen.
Cleland on debut. Chance to kick her first goal in Williamstown colours. But these little things are just starting to swing Williamstown's way, as the momentum dramatically shifted in the last couple of minutes.
Ellie Clallan directly in front. Bang! Straight over the goal umpire's hat, and the Seagulls get there first. They're 1-3-9, Collingwood 2-1-13 here in the second term on WARFradio.com at the ground 89.1 FM and on the VFLW YouTube stream. Again, you're hearing from Toby Hansen.
Well, yeah, great little patch there from the Seagulls as they moved forward. And Collingwood, well, they got a couple get out of jail free cards, Williamstown, when Collingwood went forward. Couldn't capitalise on their opportunities and have obviously made the Pies pay there with the 6-pointer. And Cleland picked up from Caulfield in the VAFA. She gets a goal on debut.
Yeah, you don't get too many better debut gifts than that. A goal from the top of the goal square for Ali Cleland. Seagulls back in this contest now in a big way. Umpire throws it up. Big challenge for Bella Smith, obviously with King out of the rest of this game. Ball still remaining in the centre square. Bottom of the pack there. This is Howie. Comes out to the broadcast side. Eamon has had a fair bit of it. Couldn't complete that mark. Under pressure now. Only finds Tripodi for the Seagulls. She punts it off the ground. This is Mangan. She will pick it up. Seagulls got a little bit of space here. Pumps it into the forward 50. Great spoil there by O'Connor. Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. It's a mark going the way of Williamstown.
So what, we don't have the advantage of watching the replay, but from our first look perspective, Sam, very interesting.
Very, very interesting.
I think it's Sophia McCarthy there wearing the 13 with it.
McCarthy, 35 metres out from goal. Pretty good opportunity. As good as straight in front. Gets very close to the player on the mark. It goes top of the goal square. Chance here for the Seagulls. Thought they might have been able to snap one through there. This might run out of bounds. It does. Bella Smith takes it out for the Pies.
So right next to that right-hand point post at the Sharon stand end of the ground, and one of the players in Collingwood is down, holding her head. I'm hoping that she didn't hit her head on the concrete, which is right up against the boundary line there. I hope it's something else, but she's feeling worse for wear nonetheless when she gets up. Wait for the ball to be thrown back in once the umpire gives the okay. As the trainers just handle that Collingwood play. We'll get Luana Williams to keep an eye on that as the ball is thrown back into play. Trying to fight in there was Tripodi. Couldn't bring it out. The umpires will call for a ball up. Just interesting to watch that Shani Whiting has pushed right up the ground. Is inside the forward 50 now for Williamstown. That's one to watch as it's one out in that contest by Mangan. Traffic jam of players here at the moment. Hurried hand pass out. One step snapshot by McCarthy towards the top of the goal square. Trying to get there as Mangan. She immediately caught. Trying to get a hand pass away. Umpire says no, that's holding the football. And that's a free kick going the way of Katie Lee. So Lee for the Pies is going to move it quickly. If they can spread and run, they've got Williamstown exposed because all the Seagulls are pushed up the ground. They can't. Erin Mead manages to hold it up momentarily. Bunga is there. There was Colburn Veal. Got the ball knocked away from her. City side wing position. That's where we're at the moment. Pressure is on. Bowie goes in there. Try to get his Biden-Webster. She got spun around. She tried to get a kick. Hazlitt went in there and laid the tackle for the Pies. Had it momentarily was Marla Neal. She was dispossessed of the football. It's close towards the boundary line. Back with Biden-Webster of Williamstown. She's got a shrug one. She's got a shrug two. Goes with a hand pass. Gets the call to play on. The player thought she marked it. Then she realised, oh, that's right. There's no such thing as marking a handball. And she got caught with the pants down. That was Ella Baxter. And that means a free kick going the way of Neil for the Pies. Goes immediately to Emin in the middle of the ground. Emin with the football. Goes along to a 2-on-2 situation. From behind, the hands were up by Barnett. Brought the football to ground. Barnett win again. Immediately wrapped up by Strafford. Umpire says going nowhere. And we'll ask for the football back. And we'll call for a ball up 45 metres out from the Magpies' goal.
Good opportunity here for the Pies to just swing back the momentum, but it is Williamstown who get a little scrubby kick outside the forward 50. It might be coming straight back in. Ricardo, kick and finds a target. That's a fantastic kick inside 50. And the Pies will have a set shot here through Imogen Barnett. A slight angle. You think that this might be another goal coming up for the Pies. She's usually a very good kick of the footy. Starts her approach. And that is, the umpire does not move. Barnett puts it through for a goal for the Pies. The momentum shifting back the way of the black and white. It's a 3-1-19 Collingwood. 1-3-9 Williamstown. Collingwood holding off the Williamstown attack there. And they maintain the lead, Pete.
Let's go quickly down boundary side with Luana Williams. Am I correct? Is that Bella Smith getting some attention? Luana Williams, boundary side?
Sorry, yes, I'm here. The trainers came back before and they didn't actually have a player with them, so I thought that perhaps she might have just been winded, but I'll double check that and get back to you.
Yeah, I just saw her speaking to them. I'm not sure if it was her in that earlier incident, but they were just checking out her right shoulder, I think, by the look of it. Just from around the ground scores quickly at Whitten Oval, 14 minutes gone, second term. Southern Saints 3-7-25 lead the Western Bulldogs 1-1-7. As we're back in the middle of the ground, opportunity here for the Seagulls, and this is through Kawa. Kawa goes towards the centre-half forward position, overrunning at Strafford on that occasion. Going in there is Georges. Georges gets it, but immediately got wrapped up on that occasion by O'Day. Ball spilled out into a pack, and we'll call for a ball up, and we'll get some thoughts from our match analyst and Toby Hansen.
Yeah, it has been a very weird second quarter. The Williamstown side, they were struggling in that first section of the game of the quarter. Brought it back, and now it's Collingwood's traffic again.
Long kick out towards the centre wing position here for the Pies for a one-on-one situation. From behind is Talia Wright. She did great to try and pressure Xander. Umpire says throwing the football against Wright. Not happy, the crowd behind us. And that means a resulting free kick. Matilda Xander right in front of our broadcast spot here on WARFradio.com at the ground delay free 89.1 FM. And you're also watching us on the VFLW YouTube stream as Xander on the right boot towards the half-forward flank position. Just came off the hands there of Carwo, who couldn't quite hang on to it. She had to go back in for another tackle. And we'll get some ball up. O'Connor on the bottom of the deck. We'll check in with Toby in a moment, maybe on some leading disposal getters as well for both sides as we start to go near half-time. As the ball is thrown up in the air, got brought to ground, and immediately the clamp is put on by Taylor Danuccio. And again, we'll call for a ball up. On the bottom of that pack is Caitlin Bunker. What's some stats we've got there, Toby?
Well, it's still Bunker leading the way, 11 touches thus far. Mead leading it for Williamstown with 9. O'Day as well having a strong game. She's at 4 tackles, 8 touches.
As Neal tried to get a hurry kick around the corner, immediately sharked though by Kawa. Kawa was put into the ground by O'Day, and once again we'll call for a ball up between centre wing and the half-forward flank for the Pies. They're 3-1-19, Williamstown at 1-3-9.
O'Connor shouldering the ruck duties for Collingwood. They've obviously lost 2 ruck players already. And she may have to have another contest here. No, it's holding the ball. The Pies will win a free kick. Will go the way of
and 50.
Bunker and 50 metres. Umpire not happy with Kawa there, not handing the ball straight back to Bunker. Now Bunker will have a fantastic opportunity to extend the Pies' lead. About 40 metres out from goal on a slight angle. Bunch of players deep in the goal square. She looks like she might have a shot. Bunker gets very close to the player on the mark. It's going to go almost all the way. Drops in the goal square. No player able to get a clean possession there. Ball up. 2 metres out from the goal line. Collingwood looking for their 4th of the morning. Ball goes up. Very congested on that goal line. Williamstown push it back a little bit. And a Collingwood player wrapped up there. It'll be another ball up. About 20 metres out from goal. Can the Pies snap another one here and really take control of this contest?
So Xander, they gave it back to the umpire. Bunker tried to get a hurry little kick around the corner, 35 metres out from goal. Having it momentarily, tried to get a kick there was Camilleri, immediately smothered off her boot. Colbin Veal went in there as well, tried to knock the football forward. Hazlitt tried to jump in once again for the Pies. Real traffic jam at the moment, and the umpire says, I'll ask for the football back. Being caught with it, Sophie Georges at her centre-half back position for Williamstown. They're down by 10 points as we near half-time. So the ball is thrown up in the air. Ball gets smacked around. Tripodi tried to get involved for the Seagulls. Umpire says there's a holding infringement, and it's going the way of the Seagulls. And Tripodi's got it and says, I'm going to play on quickly. Gets the skates on, gets on the right boot, goes in the Stepnell direction, got spoiled from behind, was roved well, though, off the pack, though, by Strafford, who kicked towards the half-forward flank position. Just had it overran in the crucial moment was Georges, and Nicole Hale took it and kicked it towards the wing position on the city side of the ground. Trying to harass there is Talia Wright. Wright still going here for Williamstown, but it is Xander who got the ball away for the Magpies. Went in the direction of Cowan and Camilleri. Camilleri was chasing after it and managed to knock it towards her half-forward flank. Went in and followed up the tackle on Mead, and the umpire says there is no prior opportunity, and we'll call for a ball up 55 metres out from the Yarra Falls end of the ground. We'll throw the football up again quickly and try and restart the play. One out there in that contest by Sarek for the Seagulls, but getting it straight away and wrapped up was Kawa. She was rolled over by O'Day, and once again we'll restart the play. Throw up in the air. Sarek doing the ruck work here for Williamstown. Brought the ball to ground. Bowie just got pushed off the ball at the crucial moment. Going in there is Hazlitt. And Stepnell was fighting in hard with her. And again, another stoppage. And we'll get some thoughts from Toby Hansen.
Well, just to paint the picture of how congested this game is, we just saw our 77th tackle for this game. In comparison, the Southern Saints and Bulldogs game. We've just seen our 53rd in that game, so it is a very high-pressure game. The ball can't spill out. There's not much space, seemingly, although it is a very big ground. No one seems to be using it.
We do see when the ball does spill out, there are some pretty good opportunities for both sides. Just on that outer city wing now, very close to the boundary line. Still stays in. Williamstown trying to move their way up the field. Ball somehow remains in play. Great tackle there from the Pies. That's Camilleri. Umpire lets it go. And it will be a ball up. Pressure in this game immense so far. Rucks go at it. Quick chip there by Collingwood, moving forward. It's right with the football. And there's the siren. Half-time at Victoria Park. It's Collingwood leading 3-1-19. The Seagulls 1-3-9. Collingwood taking control somewhat of the contest in that quarter.
And holding that 10-point lead. Before we get some thoughts from Toby Hansen and some of the stats up to half-time, we might head down to very shortly to Luana Williams again on the boundary line. Luana, we do have obviously the one confirmed injury today and the player that won't be coming back that was literally injured in the first play.
Yeah, that's right, and seemed quite innocuous as well. Like I said, she didn't seem like she was in a whole lot of pain, so probably more of an inconvenience than anything. That does seem to be the only injury. The Williamstown bench has been very quiet. A couple of players getting some rub-downs from the Collingwood side of things, and you probably saw just at the end of that quarter, Bella Smith did come back again, didn't even have tape on her shoulder, so it must have been just a minor irritation.
Thank you very much for that, Luana, and that good news for the Pies that Bella Smith is back on the ground. And so they're only just down that one rotation. The Williamstown players being clapped off the ground by their faithful. They're down by 10 points in this game. So they are certainly giving it everything against the reigning minor premiers. 1-3-9 Williamstown, Collingwood 3-1-19. Goal kickers at half-time. Singles each to Xander Pedersen and Barnett. To Toby Hansen, first of all, your thoughts on the first half and what are our stats also up until half-time?
Yeah, well, I think you'd probably both agree with me. It's been a weird game. Both sides have had chances to get ahead and they can't. It's 10 points. That 10 points seems a bit bigger than it does on paper, but we've got leading disposals from Caitlin Bunker. She's dominated this game, really. 13 touches to half-time. O'Day with 9 as well. Xander 8 for Collingwood. On the Williamstown side of things, it's Mead with 9 and Carl with 6. Again, in the leading tackles, it's Hallett, O'Day, Xander, Danuccio, all with 6. And Bunker and Neil with 5 to half-time.
Sam Mills, your thoughts on the first half?
Yeah, it looked like Collingwood had the opportunity there to break this game open in that second quarter, and they probably should have had another goal for their efforts. But Williamstown just so good at breaking them down, and we saw, you know, Collingwood had a fantastic opportunity right in the goal square, but Williamstown holding firm, and they were very happy with themselves coming off the ground just now. So I think they'll be pretty pleased moving into the second half. To see if they can hit the goals.
Of course, reminding you we are on WARFradio.com. And on the radio stream, we always have a 1-hour pre-game show where possible. We had 45 minutes for today. We are back on air at 1 p.m. this afternoon with Carlton and Essendon. YouTube stream will begin at 2 p.m. for that game at Icon Park. And those watching via VFLW YouTube at the moment for Collingwood and Williamstown, hello to Kev's Magpies, Finny Boy, Cody AFL, our very own Ethan Wright will be making his debut this afternoon, is watching. He's obviously a Pies supporter. And we've got a Ruby Tripodi supporter. They're keenly following number 9 of Williamstown, hello to Twice, who's watching on the VFLW YouTube stream. Quickly, around the ground scores from the AFL.com.au live stream match, the Bulldogs versus the Southern Saints at VU Whitten Oval. And I hate to tell you, boys, looks like it could be another blowout against the Doggies. They're 1-1-7. The Southern Saints have jumped to 6-7-43.
Oh, that's a shame. It would have been nice to see the Bulldogs get on the board, but Saints doing very well this season.
Indeed they are, and they're always thereabouts come finals time. Can Dale Robertson finally get them to the flag? Who knows, but they'll be spewing after last week coughing one up against Carlton at Icon Park. We'll take an opportunity to take a break here at halftime. Collingwood 3-1-19, Williamstown 1-3-9. We'll be back after this.
If you're after the most comprehensive coverage on women's football across Australia, then look no further than Rookie Me Central. Formerly Draft Central, Rookie Me Central has news and reviews, podcasts, videos, and much, much more on all the state leagues across the country, including the VFL Women's and NAB League Girls. Find out why everyone turns to Rookie Me Central for their women's football content. Follow Rookie Me Central on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram and YouTube at Rookie Me Central.
No business wants to throw money away. But did you know sending resources to landfill can be more expensive than recycling them? Planet Ark's free business recycling service can kickstart your workplace recycling journey, help you find the right recycling solutions and give you a competitive edge. Join the 1 million Australians using business recycling to keep valuable resources in circulation. Visit businessrecycling.com.au. It's just good business.
Oh, hi, I'm Maria from Sesame Street.
And Elma's Elma.
And we're here to talk about driveways. Driveways can be dangerous for children.
Or little red monsters.
So it's important for parents to always watch their children around them.
Yeah, driveways are for cars, not for planes.
That's right, Elmo. Play only in safe places away from driveways because people in cars may not see you.
Elmo sees you, Maria. Tag, you're it.
Here I come, Elmo. Remember, driveways are like roads. Always supervise, separate, and see. Learn more at kidsafevic.com.au.
How often should you wash your hands?
Maybe around 9 times a day. 4?
Like 20?
Maybe twice a day.
Whenever they feel dirty. When should you wash your hands?
After you touch some raw meat. And before starting to eat. At the beginning. I wash my hands before preparing food.
How would you rate your knowledge of food safety?
Probably like an 8 out of 10. 6 or 7.
7.5? Learn more at foodsafety.asn.au/food safety training. Food safety, it's in your hands. Hey. Hi.
Yo, what's up? We're here for Rad. Here's a simple word of advice.
Don't drink and drive.
If you plan to drink, plan ahead.
Give up the keys.
Either drink or drive. Don't mess around trying to do both.
When you drink and drive, you're risking the life of yourself and the lives of everybody on the road.
It takes a lot of courage to convince a friend not to drive after they've been drinking, but you might just be saving their life.
So if you plan to drink, plan not to drive.
The average person spends 44 minutes a day thinking about food. At Oz Harvest, thinking about food is a full-time job because we're always looking for new ways to nourish our country and combat food waste and hunger. Every day, we rescue quality surplus food across Australia and deliver it to those who'd otherwise go hungry. And you can help. Every dollar donated to Oz Harvest can provide 2 meals to people in need. Visit ozharvest.org. Thought for food.
Been playing for a while, sweet kicks, 'cause footy makes you smile, sweet kicks football. If you're getting ready for the trials, gotta go the extra mile, sweet kicks football.
Not always hearing that sweet sound when you kick the ball? Need to develop your footwork or explosive speed? Want to take the next step in your footy career? Then you need Sweet Kicks. More info on our Facebook page or go to our website, sweetkicksfootballacademy.com.au.
Gotta go the extra mile, sweet kicks football.
Even when everything is going great, the black dog of depression can sneak up on you. You're not alone. 1 in 7 Australians are feeling just like you. But there is hope available. The Black Dog Institute provides information on diagnosis, treatment and prevention of mental illnesses like depression, bipolar disorder and anxiety. If the black dog is hounding you, visit blackdoginstitute.org.au for real help and support. Black Dog Institute, putting health in mind.
Storms are Australia's most costly natural disaster. Getting prepared now is the best way to protect people and to minimise damage to your property. Keep your gutters, downpipes and drains clear and stash any loose items in yards or on balconies. Trim any trees and branches hanging too close to your house and keep your roof in good repair. For emergency help, call the SES on 132 500.
Stroke can happen to anybody at any age. The best way to help someone is to learn the signs of stroke and know how to act fast. F is for face. Has their face drooped? A is for arms. Can they lift both arms? S is for speech. Is their speech slurred? Do they understand you? T is for time. Call 000. Time is critical. If you see any of these symptoms, act fast. Learn the signs of stroke and you could save a life. Go to strokefoundation.org.au/fast to find out more.
G'day, I'm Michael Caton. The Australian Conservation Foundation's Green Home program is all about saving our environment. A low-flow shower head will save 10 litres. No showering at all will save 20. So when any of my active friends are a bit on the nose, I never judge them, but thank them for doing their bit to save water.
For more information, go to www.acfonline.org.au/greenhome and take action for our future generations. That's acfonline.org.au/greenhome.
What do you listen to while you're waiting for the next VFLW game on Wharf Radio? Do you long for the days when radio stations played music that you knew without being constantly bombarded with ads and by announcers who want to make it about themselves and not about the music? Welcome to GoRadio.live. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, playing the very best music of the past 70 years. You can listen at www.goradio.live or better still, download the free GoRadio.live app for your Apple or Android device. GoRadio.live. It's radio as it should be.
It's women's Aussie rules. They're doing what they love. They're fast, they're tough, don't mess with them because they can get rough. Are you ready for the challenge? Are you ready for the match? It's the call of the game. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
Indeed it is the VFL Women's Match of the Day. VFLW Round 3 Sunday football. Collingwood and Williamstown half-time. Collingwood 3-1-19 lead Williamstown 1-3-9. As the umpires come back out into the ground, you've got Peter Holden, Sam Mills, Toby Hansen and Luana Williams with you at Victoria Park in Abbotsford. The Collingwood side now coming out of their change rooms at the Sherrin stand end of the ground. With his 10-point lead to the Magpies, the goal kickers look like this at halftime. 1 to Xander, 1 to Pedersen and 1 to Imogen Barnett. As reported by Luana Williams earlier, it looked like some hand injury to Sarah King of the Magpies. That happened literally in the first play. So they have been playing one player down the Pies for this match so far. To Sam Mills and Toby Hansen, the scoreboard says the Pies are in control. 1 rotation down, 1 tall down in Sarah King. Can the Pies hold on, or do you see Williamstown having a bit of momentum behind them?
I think Williamstown will absolutely have a crack. As we mentioned before the break, that they were very happy with themselves coming off the ground. We thought it might have been a more dire situation for Collingwood at some point where Bella Smith was in the hands of trainers and, you know, the ruck duties may have come down to purely Neve O'Connor. That would have made things a lot more difficult for the Pies. But Williamstown, they'll certainly like their chances in this second half.
Yeah, definitely a lot more even than the score might suggest. With that 10-point margin, when you've only kicked 1 goal to half-time, could seem to be a little bit too difficult for Williamstown, but it's been a team where I think if they can beat them in the height contest, they're dominating in the ruck at the moment. It could be the Pies to get on, Williamstown to get on top here.
The one thing I noticed is, again, despite being 10 points down, the Williamstown players being clapped off as they came through the interchange right in front of us here. And I guess one thing that is making the Williamstown supporters happy is last season there were a side that after an early start to the year when injuries took a toll, they were getting mercilessly flogged week after week after week after week. And I think it's fair to say from a supporter's point of view, they're happy to at least see this is a competitive side this year.
Absolutely. And, they are absolutely in this contest. There is a chance that they can take home the 4 points this morning. And there's nothing their supporters would want to see more.
We're waiting for the Williamstown side to come back out onto the ground. Just a reminder, there is the AFL.com.au stream going on at the moment. Julia Montesano is calling alongside Julian Marcus the game at Whitten Oval between the Bulldogs and the Southern Saints. And unfortunately, that game is a bit more one-sided. The Southern Saints 6-7-43 lead the Bulldogs 1-1-7 there at half-time. For those that have just joined us, other results from this round: Geelong 7-10-52 defeated Port Melbourne 1 behind. Hawthorn 9-14-68 defeated Darebin 2 behinds. And Casey 6-8-44 defeated North Melbourne 3-6-24. There is one more game to play in this round, and that game is between Carlton and Essendon on WARFradio.com and at the ground on 89.1 FM. We'll have Carlton and Essendon at 1 o'clock, and the YouTube stream will begin at 2 p.m. right on bounce down time. Carlton and Essendon coming up this afternoon as the Williamstown side come back out, and the ground in Toby full of enthusiasm.
Well, it almost feels like a home game for Williamstown. That I'm not sure if you could pick it up on the broadcast, but it was nice and loud as they ran off the ground, and again as they made their way back on to Victoria Park. A big second half for the Seagulls ahead.
And obviously, for those that have just joined us, we might head on down to Luana Williams just a moment on the boundary line just to get a sense of conditions at the moment, because I know obviously there's a few Collingwood supporters that might be watching at home and interested in coming on down this afternoon at 3:10 p.m. to watch the AFLW game between the Magpies and the Bulldogs. Luana, conditions down there at ground level?
Yeah, they're pretty similar to what they were when the game started, actually. Still quite overcast, temperature probably still around 20 degrees. The breeze has picked up ever so slightly, but I don't think that that's going to make too much of an impact to the game.
Well, we're almost ready to get the third quarter underway here at Victoria Park in Abbotsford. It is the Magpies leading by 10 points, 3-1-19 to 1-3-9. To get you underway, here's Sam Mills.
It's the premiership quarter. Umpire holds the ball aloft, and the Rucks will go at it again. Williamstown get the tap, and they make some forward ground, but it is all Collingwood. Great tackle there, though, on Bella Smith. Williamstown punch it forward. There's a chance here. No, Collingwood repel. Nice work there by Colburn-Ville. Pies out on the City wing now. They've got a little bit of space here. Nice handball through traffic. Ebony O'Day. She is caught holding the ball, unfortunately. She thinks she got a handball away, but the umpire saw it very differently. Williamstown now looking to attack Beardwood Webster. High ball into the forward 50. Collingwood again. Neve O'Connor with a spoil. Hallett's in there as well. Just bouncing around at the moment. Nobody can get a clear possession on it. Hallett again tackling hard at the bottom of the pack. And it comes out. It's on that outer wing. Even contest. Ball on the ground. Fantastic tackle there. Tricia Cowan. And it's still nobody able to get a clean possession until then. Barnett's got a little bit of space. She's pushed in the back, but the umpire doesn't say anything. Repelled now. Shani Whiting. But that just stays in play. Thought it might have been out on the full for a little bit of a second there. Now it does go out of bounds, off the knee, and it will be a throw-in.
So we're on the wing position, City side of the ground here at Victoria Park, Abbotsford. 10-point lead to the Pies. As we wait for it to come back into play, it's Bella Smith that's going to be doing the ruck work here against Sarek of Williamstown. Spinning back into play. Sarek comes at it, wins the tap down. Almost had to do her own roving work. Getting there O'Day first, immediately caught by Bridie Kennedy. She hatched the ball out the back. One step hurry kick by Emmon there for the Pies towards their half-forward flank, and it's going out. Oh, no, it stayed in. Whiting got shoved off the ball momentarily by a Collingwood opponent who just picks out Imogen Barnett beautifully. Well, Toby answered, in this game, you can't fall asleep for half a second. Whiting took the foot off the gas, and that saw the resultant turnover.
Well, Matisse Hunter ran off the Barnett there. Went to try and help out her mate in Whiting, but it was no good in the end. A little physical contest between the number 16 and 77 between these two that I've seen brewing in the first couple minutes of this quarter.
Imogen Barnett, her shot for goal is pretty good. And Barnett will get her second of the morning And the Magpies go to 2-1-15, Williamstown 1-3-9. Here in our VFLW match of the day on wharfradio.com. Hannah Bowie coming from the ground, going to be replaced by Cara Colburnville. And with that opportunity, again, we get some thoughts from Toby Hansen.
Well, this is what was coming out of the Collingwood camp this morning. Opportunities for the VFL side, VFL listed players, rather, Imogen Barnett getting her second for the game, her second for the year as well. So hopefully this can put her in a run of form that the Pies need going forward. And there was that avenue going forward that the coaching staff said pre-match.
Collingwood 4-1-25. Just taking control of this contest now. Williamstown 1-3-9. Ball goes up in the ruck. Kennedy can't get a clean possession. Still bouncing around there. Umpires picked out a free kick for holding the player. It's going to go the way of Williamstown. Danuccio. She's got some players to her left. She does go high and long inside the forward 50. It's all Collingwood. They can't get a clean possession on it, though. It does come out the back. Still can't get a clean possession there. Although a chance here for Williamstown. Push in the back, potentially a free kick. Nothing doing. Umpire might come in, and he does. It'll be a ball up deep in the forward pocket for Williamstown. A chance to hit straight back.
Yeah, it was Stepnell got brought to ground then as the umpire throws the ball up in the air. Away we go again. Seville versus Nebo Connor. Magpies keep it just inside the boundary line. Hurry kick around the corner is going to be trapped, and that occasioned by Kawa. Gets it to Stepnell with a tackle, and umpire says once again another stalemate. We'll call for a ball up. 45 metres out from goal. Player brought to ground on that occasion was Ricardo for the Pies. Going in there is Bunker. Brought down. Umpire said play on. Kennedy with a hand pass. Hallett manages to smack it towards the boundary line, and the ball will go over and out. 48 metres out from the Williamstown goal. They're going to the Yarra Falls end of the ground. They are 1-3-9. Collingwood 4-1-25. We wait for the ball to be thrown back into play. Spinning back in. Seric from behind. Brings it to ground. Hallett overran it. Hurried hand pass. Went nowhere. Quick work there by Jackson. Now the Pies towards the wing position broadcast side. Xander ran past it. Xander will go back for a second crack at the footy. Immediately caught from behind by Mead, the Williamstown captain. Watching on there, Jackson. The umpire from a distance has spotted one too high and said it will be a Williamstown free kick. So it'll end up in the hands of Talia Wright. Wright on the logo, goes for a run, boots it long towards the half-forward flank position. Cleland is staying at ground level. She'll end up picking it up, finds out the hand pass to Donnell. Donnell kicks it very wisely to Magan. Magan marks on the paint, 50 metres out from goal. Elects to go for a run. Shocking handball to Cleland, who has to go soccer style. Gains about 20 metres in the forward pocket for Williamstown. Umpire says too high. Free kick the way of the Seagulls. And with it, right up against the boundary line, Eliza Strafford. Let's get some thoughts of match analyst Toby Hansen.
Yeah, well, this game's, again, it's choppy and changing with what team is in charge, but the Williamstown side have found a break here, and it was all started off with the debutant Cleland not going up with the mark, staying on the ground, and got forward into the pocket.
Strafford, very difficult kick, going to the Yarra Falls end. Puts it right up at the top of the goal square. A mark is taken, but it is for the Magpies. And deep in defence is Bella Smith. And she'll get on the left boot and she'll clear towards the far side of the ground. Imogen Barnett's worked her way a long way up the ground, close towards the boundary line. It will go over and out now between the centre wing and the half-back flank for the Pies.
Still a chance here for Williamstown in their forward half. Players converging around the throw-in. It'll be Bella Smith to go up against it. Stepnell. Ball thrown in. A little bit short. Stepnell gets the best of it. She's tackled immediately by Smith. That ball doesn't look like it's going to come out. There will be another ball up. It's thrown up quickly by the umpire. The two rucks go at it. Still bouncing around at the bottom of that pack. Bella Smith and Stepnell just standing around it. They know they'll have to compete once again as the umpire comes in. He throws it up for a third time. Stepnell Manages to fashion a kick forward, but the Pies have all the answers. But it will be a free kick going the way of Williamstown on the edge of the forward 50. Good opportunity here to hit back. Tries to find a forward. It goes out the back. Kick off the ground. Kicking in danger. Free kick going the way of Collingwood. They ease the pressure for now, but it's still deep in Williamstown territory.
Paid against Price on that occasion, and Katie Lee ends up with a free kick, getting the ball back from Olivia Storer. So Katie Price for the Magpies, right up against the right-hand point post. Goes for a kick and keeps it on the city side of the ground, half-back flank. Flying through the air, Bardenweg-Webster. Couldn't quite pull it in, but went back for the scraps. Hand pass out to Stepton along the ground. Bridie Kennedy decides to smack it along the carpet. Goes back in to try and lay a tackle on Emond. Close up against the boundary line now. Ball still being kept in play. Going in there hard is Tripodi. They appeal for deliberate against the Collingwood player, and Emond, the umpire, says, I'm not paying any of that. At least not in the third quarter anyway. And we'll throw it back into play. 35 metres out from the Williamstown goal. They're pressing, but they're just not making an impression on the scoreboard. 139 Williamstown, Collingwood 4-1-25. As umpire's taking a while to set himself. We'll throw the ball back in. This is going to be Magan going up against O'Connor. Magan gets front posse. O'Connor with high from behind. Stole it from her. And then kicked it round the corner, but straight down the throat of Talia Wright. Right with the football. 55 out from goal. Gives off the hand pass to Shani Whiting, who unloads a bomb towards the top of the goal square. Hands were up by McCarthy. Couldn't swallow it in. Pies with a hurry kick out of defence. Emma gets on the end of it, and she clears it out towards the half-back flank position. Spots up a target further field. Corbin Veal now with a footy. Elects to stay wide. This is where they're going to go with a chain of handballs. Oh, Bunker made a mess of it while under pressure from Bardenweg-Webster. Bardenweg-Webster goes again. She's on the ground. Looks like Danuccio there for support. Wrapped up immediately by Elizabeth Jackson. And the umpire will call for a ball back. And we'll get some thoughts from our match analyst and Toby Hansen.
A trend that's been across all three quarters thus far is every player is on whatever side of the ball is. There's no one on the broadcast side at the moment, or that half of the wing. And it's just what's making the game so congested, so many jumpers around the football.
Collingwood now in front of the ball. A good opportunity. As Toby said, not many in front. Chance here for the Pies on the edge of the square. They'll look to move it quickly. Low ball, but it could come off. Push in the back there. Potential for Jackson. Dropping the ball there, Williamstown. But no, it'll be a holding free kick. Going the way of the Seagulls. Perhaps a missed opportunity there for the Pies. This is Kennedy. He'll have a bit of time now to find a teammate and work it out. She plays on. Goes down the corridor, but it's all Bella Smith. She gobbles up that one. And that'll be 50. That is very, very tough call, because Bella Smith did go to play on, but she did not step off her line. So she'll go pretty much all the way to the goal square.
I think that's ordinary, because Cleland was running through and Bella Smith stepped into Cleland. And it's like literally a split second after the mark is taken. I mean, what can Cleland do?
Not much at all. Bella Smith puts it straight through the middle. That is a gift for the Magpies. Her first goal of the game. And wow, that makes it tough for Williamstown. Collingwood taking control of this contest now. The Pies 5-1, Williamstown 1-3. They continue to stretch their lead here at Victoria Park.
Toby Hansen.
Good day for a couple of ex-Norwood SANFLW players in Bella Smith and Ebony O'Day. Ebony O'Day's tearing it up across the midfield, and Bella Smith having a pretty good day in the ruck, and then getting that, it was a gift, but it's still, you've got to convert them.
If you do get the opportunity, I'd suggest checking out the SANFL website. Unfortunately, it's not free like the VFL. You've got to pay for the digital pass, but some very good quality football to watch over there in the SANFLW competition. Umpire throws the ball up in the air, and away we go against Eric versus O'Connor. O'Connor wins it down, and Neil immediately does the roping work. Neil delivers straight down the gut. Shani Whiting read it best for the Seagulls, and she'll just swallow it up and just try and calm things down. She'll look to go down the central corridor. Long and high with the kick. from behind, kind of like a half punch, half mark by Mangan as the ball hit the ground. Going in there from the side is Georgia Ricardo. And the umpire says Marlon Hill's going nowhere and will take the football back and call for a ball up. In the centre of the ground, away we go again. One out by Sarek on that occasion. Bowie gets it there for the Pies, but it's immediately caught by the Seagulls. And screaming for it here is Hunter, is running through. Little Texas wedge of a kick going forward. It's picked up by Bunker of the Magpies. Goes forward on the left boot. Barnett trying to get away through the pack. Picked up by Elizabeth Jackson. Sets it up to the dangerous hotspot, 35 metres out from goal. Ducking it is Zander. Interesting little hand pass there. Might almost be classified a throw. The umpire says it's legal in his book. Does give one away for too high, and the Williamstown will pay the advantage through Tripodi. Kicks it in towards the middle of the ground. Went flying over the head there of Ebony Rowe. Getting a hand pass over the top. Clallam will under pressure. Clallam will have to go back and again for a second crack at it. Wraps up Nicole Hales, and the umpire says your max gone. Advantage paid. Now going quickly to Tripodi, who kicks it inside 50 towards a one-on-one. The kick is going to fall short. Pies defender read it best. And that is Lee. And Lee put it on the right boot out towards centre wing on the broadcast side. Camilleri came out afterwards. Dropped it while under pressure. Now picking it up is Bardenberg-Webster. Bardenberg-Webster has got to run around one. Oh! Almost had the throat ripped out. And that one will be a resulting free kick taken way too high by Camilleri.
Bit of speed in this contest now. Bardenberg-Webster goes short. Edge of the 50. Ball bouncing around. Collingwood able to get a clean possession. And they do come away with it here. This is Neil. She's run down. Williamstown will get a chance to go back into their forward 50 here. This is Clalland. Fairly stiff a few minutes ago. Whiting. We know she has a booming kick. She fashions one into the half-forward flank. It may still stay in. It does for the moment. Umpire might call for this one. Still stays in. Williamstown with a chance here. Clear chance. Danuccio. Collingwood wrapped up. And it will be a ball up, but a fantastic opportunity here for the Seagulls to hit back. And you kind of get the feeling they do need one right at this point in time.
Yeah, it was Hales who was caught there in that last possession. Ball hit the ground out of this ruck contest. Danuccio comes in, lucky not to be paid against her for in the back. Hales now takes a long booming kick for the Pies. Out towards the centre wing position on the outer side. Intercepted though by Ryder. Gave up the hand pass to Donnell. Donnell going inside 50, looking for Price. Got smacked away from her at the last second. And the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds. 35 metres around from the right-hand point post for the Seagulls. They trail 1-3-9 to Collingwood 5-1-31. Some quick thoughts with Toby Hansen.
Just to bring it right back to when the contest was last in front of us on the broadcast side, Cleveland, after giving away that 50-metre penalty, 2 holding the balls in a matter of about 60 seconds. So good to see that hasn't demoralised her day. And a couple crunching tackles in that contest as well.
One out by Bella Smith on that contest. And in goes Hales to lay the tackle. And immediately we'll call for a restart of play. Being caught with the football on that occasion, Mangan. And the ball will be thrown up in the air again. One out on that occasion by Bella Smith. Neil tries to just clear a path for Bunker, who was under pressure to get the hand pass off. One step and kick there. And Calmari's kick is picked up by Whiting. Whiting goes long and wide towards the pocket. One bounce and over the boundary line and out of play. That's about 10 metres around from the right-hand point post. They're unlucky at the moment, Williamstown, how they bomb the forward line, because they did have a player on their list in Cleo Saxon-Jones, who they were hoping was going to play for them this year, and is, from what I can tell, has elected to sit out the season. Or focus on other things at the moment. So they're very unlucky. If she was playing for them at the moment, you just go, gee, some of the things were set up for a nice tall key forward. But, they're having to do their best with a smaller forward line. Collingwood now move it out towards the centre wing position. Imogen Barnett has worked her way up the ground. Manages to turn over her opponent, but got caught as she tried to shrug off Ella Baxter, who was like a pit bull who says, I'm not letting go. In fact, Baxter gave away one for too high in the way. So I'm surprised, but Barnett's earned the free kick. Baxter was just clawing at her, must have accidentally clipped it. So Baxter now with a resulting free kick, Imogen Barnett with a resulting free kick for Collingwood. Goes long, Cowan kicked around the corner, straight down the throat of Whiting. Oh, umpire says play on. It was Xander, pardon me, that went forward. Now it was Cowan from behind that caught Whiting. The umpire said there's no proper opportunity, so we'll call for a ball up 45 metres out from goal.
Might have been a half volley there, but Shani Whiting, she's in the contest. Had a fair bit of it, and she's got it again now. Pumps it out to right. She's tackled, gets a handball away. Pies on the edge of their 50. A chance now to get a clean possession. They do, but couldn't do anything with it. Williamstown bring it out, but it's going to go straight back in. This is Hales. She goes long to the goal square. Barnett's down there. Can't quite get it. Williamstown have got a couple of players back. They manage to chip it out right. Can't quite run onto it. Stays in play for the moment. She puts in a tackle. And it is tapped across the line for a throw-in.
So wait for the ball to be thrown back in front of where the food vans are setting up, in case you're wondering where they're going to be when you come on down to watch the AFLW game later today. Collingwood and the Western Bulldogs, 3:10 p.m. $10 to get in. Remember to buy your tickets in advance. All the details on the usual AFL website. Women's.afl as the ball is thrown back into play. Corbinville goes in there. Manages to wrap up Jasmine Kawa. And the umpire will ask for the ball back. We're around about 40 metres out from the Collingwood goal, going towards the Sharon stand end. Going through there was Sarek. Trying to get onto it there. Corbin Veal go and pick up the football up against the boundary line. Whoops, slipped over as she tried to get the kick away. And the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds. We might have this opportunity to go down boundary side once more with Luana Williams. Luana, for those that have just joined us, the injury update for so far today.
Yeah, just one injury to speak of, and that is Sarah King, who hurt her hand at the very beginning of the game. So she won't be taking any further part. But other than that, both benches are looking really quiet. So good news for both teams.
Pies have managed well without King. It's been Bella Smith and Neve O'Connor who have shared the ruck duties. Umpires called for the ball here. It will be a free kick going the way of Collingwood on the siren. It's going to be Camilleri who will have a shot to give Collingwood an extra boost heading into three-quarter time. She gives it an effort. It doesn't quite make the distance and doesn't go through for a behind either. So the Pies will go into the final break with a lead, 5-1-31 to Williamstown 1-3-9. The Seagulls not able to score that quarter despite plenty of effort and plenty of football in their forward half. The Pies managing to put one on the board. Big final term coming up, Pete.
And we might get Luana Williams to have a listen into the Collingwood huddle with Chloe McMillan and see what she has to say at three-quarter time. We'll be joined by Toby Hansen in a moment with the stats and his thoughts on better players for that third quarter. Goal kickers up until three-quarter time look like there's two to Imogen Barnett, singles to Pedersen, Xander and Bella Smith. 5-1-31 to 1-3-9. Toby Hansen, some of the dominating players on the ground.
Well, Caitlin Bunkart, very late in that third term, just ticked her way over to 20 touches for the game. Matilda Zanders moved her way up to 14 touches this afternoon. I think it's been, honestly, one-way traffic in the disposal count. There's only really one player that's troubled champion data, I think, is Mead. She's got 12. Whiting as well. She's picked up to 11, and she played more as almost a high half-back that quarter. Just tried to rebound it into their forward line, but they couldn't convert. They haven't troubled the scorecard that term.
We'll take an opportunity to have a look at around the ground scores. We do have another game on at the moment. It's three-quarter time at Whitten Oval, and the Bulldogs have chipped a little bit of the way into the Southern Saints lead, but it's still a big margin. The Bulldogs 3-2-20 trail the Southern Saints 7-7-49. Don't forget, coming up at 1 p.m. on WARFradio.com, that is our radio stream feed, WARFradio.com. At 1 p.m. we have Carlton v Essendon in the VFLW, and there will also be a VFL YouTube stream that beginning for Carlton and Essendon at 2 p.m. carrying our commentary. We'll take this opportunity to take a break. It is a 31-9 lead for the Magpies over the Seagulls.
Life can be really tough when you or a close family member has cancer. But if you're 12 to 25, Canteen's in your corner. Canteen provides whatever practical and emotional support you need, from connecting you with other young people who get what you're going through, to helping you develop new skills to cope, and just bringing back some fun into your world. So if cancer's messing with your life, check out canteen.org.au. And remember, Canteen's in your corner.
Hi, this is Missy Higgins for RAD, recording artists, actors and athletes against drink driving. I see a lot of things at gigs, mostly people having a good time and a few drinks. But what I'd hate to see is someone getting behind the wheel after they'd been drinking. Being even a little bit over the limit makes it too easy to lose control. So if you plan to drink, plan ahead. Arrange a designated driver who won't drink. Remember, music lives and you should too.
We're at a party. 3 little kids were playing in the pool, all under 5. Adults were busy talking, glanced over, noticed a little one underwater. I think she needs help. That's how easily something can happen. It only takes a few seconds. Don't worry, the party had a happy ending. But we need to remember, fence the pool, shut the gate. Teach your kids to swim, it's great. Supervise, watch your mate and learn how to resuscitate. I'm Laurie Lawrence. Kids Alive, do the 5.
What do you listen to while you're waiting for the next VFLW game on Wharf Radio? Do you long for the days when radio stations played music that you knew without being constantly bombarded with ads and by announcers who want to make it about themselves and not about the music? Welcome to GoRadio.live. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, playing the very best music of the past 70 years. You can listen at www.goradio.live or better still, download the free GoRadio.live app for your Apple or Android device. GoRadio.live. It's radio as it should be.
It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
Indeed it is the VFL Women's Match of the Day, Round 3 Sunday football at Victoria Park in Abbotsford. You've got Peter Holden, Sam Mills, Toby Hansen and Luana Williams with you, and it's Collingwood 5-1-31 leading Williamstown 1-3-9 coming up this afternoon on Wharf Radio at 1 o'clock. Carlton and Essendon, 2 p.m. on the VFLW YouTube stream. Join us then. Let's head on down boundary side. Luana Williams was listening into Chloe McMillan.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, it was a really, as you can imagine, quite a positive huddle just there. She talked about the fact that Williamstown are going to be throwing everything at them. They're probably going to bring quite a full-on fourth quarter, so that they need to be prepared for that. And as a result, they need to maintain their control and just slow the game down where it needs to be. She was also quite unimpressed with what she felt was sloppiness of the game and that they were giving away too many free kicks. So I wanted to make sure that they didn't give Williamstown any opportunities to get back into this game in the last quarter.
Toby Hansen, for you, what do you see as the boxes that Collingwood have to tick? And we're not saying that the game is over, but they're looking pretty comfortable with a 22-point lead. What boxes do Collingwood have to tick to walk away satisfied as well as the 4 points today?
Well, I think they'll obviously be pretty happy to get the result out here. The game, when it's opened up, has looked really good, so I think that might be something Collingwood might work on, just trying to open that game up a bit more, because we've seen patches of it throughout the day. And the football has been very good quality when the ground does open and when they're using both wings.
So to get us underway for the final quarter, here's Sam Mills.
It's going to be Bella Smith and Alana Sarek. Bella Smith shouldering March of the Ruck duties for the Pies so far today, with Sarah King obviously going off in the first 2 minutes. And she'll have another ruck contest here as the umpire calls for the ball. Williamstown looking to get on the scoreboard early. They don't think they're out of this contest by any means. A lot of noise from their huddle at the break. There'll be another ball up here. Danuccio deep in that pack. Rucks go at it. Williamstown have got some space at the back of the contest here. They managed to get a kick away out to this wing. This is Cleland. Oh. She's crunched from behind by O'Day. Still going on this wing. She gets up and goes again. Fair play. And it's going to be a free kick going the way of Williamstown. Fantastic tackle there by Scarlett Donnell. And she'll look to move it on quickly. The Seagulls have got to move quickly. Kick to the edge of the forward 50. This ball might trickle out of bounds. It does. McCarthy not able to keep it in, but promising signs for the Seagulls so far.
So we wait for the ball to be thrown back in, 55 metres out from the Seagulls' goal, going to the right-hand side of screen, the Sharon Stand end. We wait for the ball to be thrown back into play. High spin as it comes back in. Sarek won it down. O'Day did the roving work, though. Got the kick away before being dumped by Bridie Kennedy. Up the line, through the hands there of Baxter. Couldn't hang on to it. Xander tried to smack it forward. Did well. Trying to get back there for the Seagulls is Lana King. King slipped over, managed to tap it to Bardenweg Webster, who got it across to Shani Whiting, who went high with the kick, heading in the direction of Stratford. Stratford from behind now, kicked the ball along the carpet. Foot races on. Stepnell's going after there as well. Ball's now picked up for the Seagulls, only as far Astora, who just said, I'm going to put the brakes on here. Got smacked around to centre back now. Centre half forward is coming through the middle there was Hunter for Williamstown. Ball is kicked by the Magpies, but only as far as Donnell, who took the mark in the centre of the ground. And Donnell with the football, looking forward. Elects to go with a hand pass to Whiting, who keeps it low and flat. And it bowled over a few players as well. 40 metres out from goal. Immediately caught. Is that a little bit of a throw from Bella Smith? Umpire said no. Took the jumper, then pushed a player over afterwards in Stratford. Williamstown supporters not happy with that one. Bella Smith gets the resulting free kick. Smith on the left boot goes up the line, intercept mark, and it's swallowed up on this occasion by Ella Baxter.
Ella Baxter now looking to move it back into the forward 50. She's taking her time. She does punt it in. Big, tall mark. Great mark there. The Seagulls, they've come up with one. An early opportunity here to hit the scoreboard. And it's Sophia McCarthy who'll have the shot. It's exactly what they need to keep themselves in this contest. She's about 40 metres out from goal. Big Pat converging on the goal line just in case it drops short. McCarthy begins her approach. It's a big kick. It's going to fall short. No, it just goes through for her behind. Marked just behind the line by the Pies. And they'll look to move it out quickly. Out on that City side now. This is Katie Lee. She's tackled. Maybe not getting rid of it fairly, but the umpire continues play, and it'll be a throw-in.
Let's get some thoughts from Toby Hansen.
Well, Williamstown have gone forward a couple of times. There was that case there, Whiting as well early in the quarter. They haven't had really anyone to stand out except for that mark plucked out by McCarthy, but there's no one really making any leads. Everyone just standing around waiting for the contest to happen. Someone needs to stand up down forward for the Seagulls if they're to get back into this match.
Williamstown 1-4-10, trailing Collingwood 5-131 as Whiting kicks it inside, 50 over the head of McCarthy. Ball got out the back. Asher Price chasing after the football. Price off the side of the boot is away to the left-hand side. Another minor score. 1-5-11 Williamstown. Collingwood 5-131. Break it down this way, boys. Same amount of scoring shots, but Collingwood more accurate.
Yeah, they're peppering the goals, the Seagulls. They just haven't been able to put it through the two big sticks. But there's still an opportunity here. The Pies chipping it out of their back line. This is Stora. She's told to move it on. But it's all Williamstown. Can't quite complete the mark there. McCarthy, bottom of the pack, is right, and she'll win a free kick for a trip there. No, it'll go the other way. The way of the Pies. It's Jackson. Quick one to the broadcast wing. It's all Williamstown. Goes back inside. Collingwood still dominant on that back half. Crunching contest there, bottom of the pack. It's Bunker. Umpire will call for that one. She's been at the bottom of packs all day.
So the umpire will ball it up right in front of our broadcast position on WARFradio.com. And it's a late free at the ground on 89.1 FM. Stepnell fighting in hands and knees. Emmon tries to get it out to O'Day. O'Day immediately caught by Clellan. Got the hand pass off to O'Connor. O'Connor went up the line. Trying to get the front position was right. There was Whiting, but dispossessed by Jackson, who took it away. Get it up the line. An interesting tanglement of players as Xander goes soccer skills. Xander now wants to try and pick it up. Claimed on the way through by King. They're claiming high from the side. The umpire's not going to pay it. She's still down behind play. Luana Williams will keep an eye on that for us as the ball goes out of bounds on the full. Resulting free kick going the way of Emmon. The umpire blows the whistle and is going to hold things up. Luana Williams, that looks serious.
Yeah, she actually did catch her quite high as she was going through sort of around the shoulder head area. So laying down on the ground right now, trainer with her. without having been there, it's hard to know exactly what's happening. But they quite often, if they think there's a head injury, they will make sure everyone is completely fine before they get them back up and move them again.
Matilda Zander is the player that was down. King came at it from the side. The umpire seemed to say fair contact. I don't know, boys. I mean, we're not looking at the privilege of a replay in our broadcast position that we are, but I've got a feeling maybe the legs kind of hit her on the way through. That was...
well, it's of secondary concern of the moment. It's great to see she's running off the ground now, but I thought that was a free kick by all means.
So she'll come from the ground, and Luana will just keep an eye on just to see if they do any concussion tests or anything like that as Edmund comes in and immediately plays on. Molly Edmund unloads deep inside. 50 and a mark taken. Danica Pedersen diving onto it, and she's claimed it about 26.5 metres out from goal, 45-degree angle, into the Yarra Falls end of the ground here at Victoria Park. So can she extend the margin out to 26 points and put the nail in the coffin? Danica Pedersen already has one so far this morning. In she creeps. Pedersen to unload, close the player on the mark, and it's just going to fall short and will come off hands for a minor score. 5-2-32 Collingwood, Williamstown 1-5-11.
It's Whiting who'll take the kick out. She's been in the action all day, one of Williamstown's best, no doubt about it. She plays on, moves it outside the forward 50. Smith there, couldn't quite complete the mark. Williamstown sweeping through. This is O'Connor. Collingwood moving it forward once again through Jackson. Tries to find a teammate, couldn't quite complete the mark. Barnett, it's on the ground. Barnett, she does come up with the ball somehow, some way, and she's kicked the goal, and that is the game. Collingwood kicked their sixth. That's Barnett's third of the game. They move to 5-38. 5-36, sorry. 1-5-11 Williamstown. 6 goals for Collingwood, sorry. And Toby, you think that's just about the contest?
Yeah, you would think so. Barnett's number 3 for the day, and it's really been the story for Collingwood that they've kicked goals almost out of nothing, it feels like. The game's been evenly contested, and then they've managed to get it through the big sticks. But it's one thing I've noticed this quarter, Elizabeth Jackson really picked up this quarter. She only had 4 touches to 3-quarter time, and the 2 tackles. She's worked her way up in the disposal count after coming off a 20 disposal game in round 1 and 17 in round 2.
So I'll just clarify the score. Collingwood 6-2-38. Leading Williamstown 1-5-11. Apologies, we don't see a direct scoreboard here in our broadcast position. We are scribbling down our notes as we go along on our Wharf Radio broadcast here at Victoria Park. And it was Zander who came out of the out of the middle of the pack who went forward. And the umpire said it's gone into a traffic jam, but he will allow play to go on. And we'll take the football back. Saw the white ribbon in the hair. Don't think it was Zander Palmer because she was off the ground earlier. It was Bunker, rather. As it goes up in the pack, coming through there was Donnell. Rollover tackle laid on. Umpire says going nowhere. I'll take the football back. Laid on by Camilleri. And he'll restart the play again near centre half forward for the Pies. Over the back of the head by Bella Smith. Ball still on the ground. Neal tried to get in there for the Magpies. Donnell, hand pass out. Hurry kick around the corner here. Was heading in the Tripodi direction, in the Talia right direction. Immediately a pack will form at the edge of the centre square. We'll call for a ball up. Let's head on down to Luana Williams. Luana, have they been doing a concussion test there on Matilda Zander?
Yeah, they were. The trainer or one of the team members was just doing a couple of tests you'd normally expect to see her if you think someone's had a head injury. She's still sitting on the bench, so I'm not sure if that means she's passed or she's failed, or maybe they're just giving her a bit more time to rest.
As under pressure there is Imogen Barnett deep in the forward line for the Pies. Got dispossessed and it's taken away there by Williamstown to get in the direction of Bridgewater. It went with a hand pass. A little too hot potato there for Georges. They still managed to trap at the Seagulls on their halfback flank. Going in there, Kawa, who got it across to Georges, who goes for a run and took a bounce. Draws the player, goes for the hand pass. Might look for the 1-2. Little hand pass over the back of the head there by Donnell. And The umpire says going nowhere. We'll call for a ball back. In fact, it was Mangan, pardon me, that went with that hand pass. But, Toby, there may also be the opportunity that with Matilda Zander and the lead being at the moment 27 points, they're playing on the cautious side and saying, look, just sit out for the remainder of the game.
Yeah, I don't think the foot is on the throttle at the moment, but Collingwood are really well set up across both sides of the ground.
And can I say they made a fool out of me? She's got off the bench. She's now lining up, getting ready to run back on again. Here's Sam Hills.
Can't keep her down. About to come back on the field. Williamstown moving it forward. It is deep in there, on the edge of the forward 50 now. Ball bouncing around. Eamond can't pick it up. Snap on goal. Goes wide, goes through 4 behind. Williamstown not giving up the fight. They move to 1-6-12. If they'd just been a little bit more accurate today, maybe this might have been a closer contest. Collingwood now looking to bring it out as time ticks down on this one. This is Georgia Ricardo in the back pocket. She's got options downfield, including Matilda Zander, who is back on the field. Fantastic to see. Does go in that direction. Contest put up there. Collingwood can't quite grab it. Donnell's on the edge of the pack. Looks like the umpire might call this one for a throw up.
So let's restart the play here at the half-forward flank for Williamstown. Broadcast side of the ground, right in front of the Bob Rose stand. Up in the air, punched over the boundary line and out of bounds on that occasion by Neve O'Connor. And we'll wait for the ball to be thrown back in. Neve O'Connor, of course, the sister of Callum O'Connor, who's done special comments for us in the past, including a couple of times last year. Hope to have Callum back on the broadcast soon as we throw the ball back into play. From behind, Sarek. Trying to go through Tripodi. Hit the ground hard. O'Day was in there. Bunker goes to lay a tackle. And the umpire blows the whistle and will call for a ball up. We'll get some stats shortly from Toby Hansen about who's leading disposal getters on the grounds for both sides as Sarek beats out O'Connor on that occasion. And running through there is Carr off the side of the boot. It didn't quite stick there for Mangan. Going up behind is Lee. Mangan goes to ground. The cavalry arrive, trying to fight her way in. Laurie Stepnell. Umpire blows the whistle and will call for a ball up. Toby Hansen, some of the leading disposal getters.
Okay, Bunker's still sitting at 20 touches for the game. Hasn't had one recorded in this 4th term. Matilda Zander up at 17 and O'Day at 14 for the Pies. Williamstown's Whiting leading the way with 17 touches.
Yeah, Whiting has been very big for Williamstown, especially in that 3rd quarter. Unfortunately, not quite enough to help the Seagulls move closer to the Pies. Ball goes up in the air. It is in the forward pocket. They might have an opportunity here, but it will be a Collingwood free kick for a high tackle. They'll look to move it out short. Chipping ball towards Jackson. She evades the tackler. Pumps it long to the wind. Barnett's up there. She contests. Ball falls down. It's all Williamstown at the bottom of the pack. Another ball inside 50. Spoil there. Chance here for the Seagulls. But it is chopped off. Mark paid. The Pies will look to bring it out once again. Bella Smith on this outer side calling for it, and that's the direction they'll go. Little dodgy ball there, but it comes off. This is Katie Lee. Does go in the Smith direction now. Can't quite find her on the full. Smith tackled there by Mangan. Manages to get around. High ball to the wing. Can't quite complete the mark. Sarek, she does follow up though. It's only to... Oh, she's brought down. Fantastic tackle there by Asher Price. Ebony O'Day thought she had plenty of room, but she didn't. And the Seagulls not giving up the fight. Price bangs it long inside 50. Can't quite complete the mark there. Strafford. Collingwood managing somehow to bring it out of the pack, but it's another crunching tackle there by Price. Tripodi, sorry. And it'll be a ball up.
And Ricardo wrapped up quickly around the ground. Southern Saints 8-8-56, brother. Lead Western Bulldogs 3-2-20. 17 minutes gone there in the final quarter of that AFL.com.au live stream game for VFLW round 3. Umpire will ask the football back. We're in the dying stages of this final quarter. Don't forget, we've got coming up at 1 p.m. on WARFradio.com and on the VFLW YouTube stream from 2 p.m. Carlton versus Essendon to finish off this round 3 of VFLW action as Nicole Howes gives off the hand pass. One-step booting kick up the line. Elizabeth Jackson trying to tap the ball in front of herself. Jackson goes again. Has to try and shrug off the player in Kawa. Does well. Kicks it up towards the centre wing. Camilleri draws the player. Now goes for the hand pass to Pedersen. Pedersen in trouble. Went for the hand pass in front of herself. Now Jackson managed to do the clean-up work. Got it across the bunker. One step on the left boot kick. Goes long up the ground. Bounced off the chest there of the player and Lana King, who came out to try and meet the football. And the ball went over the boundary line and out of bounds under pressure from Imogen Barnett. Again, some thoughts from Toby Hansen.
Yeah, well, Jackson again, she's lifted this quarter. She's having a great quarter. And that'll be going with her. Obviously, the ball trickled out, but it has set up the Pies really well here. Again, not as many jumpers around the football as there has been this game. Seem to have cleared out a little bit.
Ball is thrown back into play. Sarek wins the tap. Got it to the advantage, though, of Clellan. Clellan got the kick away before being dumped by Neve O'Connor. Oh, great mark there by Laurie Stepnell. Stepnell, one boot kick, wants to go towards the top of the square. Getting back there, Katie Lee did the great defensive work. Managed to do the slap down, but stepping up and kicking around the corner for the Seagulls. And putting it through is number 13, and Sophia McCarthy. She gets there she gets onto the board and makes the Seagulls go to 2 goals, 6-18. The Collingwood Magpies 6-2-38 here at Victoria Park. Again, Toby Hansen.
Third goal of the year for Sophia McCarthy. So she kicked one in every game thus far this season. And Williamstown countering on a failed Collingwood attack. And that contest, as I said, it looked a lot more opened up, and that's how the ball travelled into Williamstown forward 50. A scrappy contest once it got into that forward 50, but doesn't matter because they converted. Williamstown kick another.
Great to see the Seagulls not giving up the fight quite yet. And they're on the attack here again. Bowie can't quite get into possession of the ball. It continues to bobble around. Donnell can't get clean possession. The Pies come away with it through Neal. She puts it into the centre of the ground. This is Eamond. Can't pick it up. It's 2 Seagulls versus 1 Magpie. Again, great work through traffic there. Tripodi can't get a clean possession. Umpire's seen something, and it will be a free kick going the way of the Seagulls. Pump it forward through Stratford. Looking again, and fantastic mark. The Seagulls, they're mounting a late challenge. It's McCarthy again. She just kicked the goal. She plays on. She might have another crack here. Great smother by Ricardo for the Pies, but it's still in Williamstown territory. Nothing doing at the moment. It might be a ball up. It will be. The Seagulls continuing the attack, but there's not long to go in this contest.
Umpire throws the ball up in the air. Stepnell does the ruck work. Ball hit the ground. Trying to go in there and lay the tackle is Donnell. And the umpire says, stalemate, will call for a ball up. Not too far away from the full-time siren here. Collingwood will register their second win of the season. And Williamstown will go to a 1-2 record. Ball on the ground. Donnell got bumped off of it. Going in there, Stratford. Stratford had to duck the head. Got the hurry kick. Only Magpies there in this pocket. If they can weight the ball nicely. Hales, and as the siren sounds, the Collingwood Football Club victors here at Victoria Park. 6-2-38, defeating Williamstown 2-6-18. We're about to head into our post-game show. Luana Williams will be out there catching a player. Toby Hansen, who did impress you today and we'll be having a word with?
I think Imogen Barnett. She was the difference today. 3 goals. They needed to find the avenue forward. They found it with Barnett. And she kicked half their goals. So I think it's pretty hard to go past her.
Number 77, Imogen Barnett of Collingwood. So, Luana, if you can head out there and grab Imogen, have a quick little word with her about her performance today, kicking 3 goals, and obviously she'll be hoping to be back in the AFLW side very shortly. We'll let Luana jump in when she has Imogen Barnett. Other goal kickers today, Pedersen, Zander and Bella Smith. But to Sam Mills, the Collingwood performance, they had a fight against Williamstown, but they just always managed to find a way.
Yeah, there. They didn't do it easy, the Magpies, but it was their run and carry that really got them across the contest. And I think they're a little bit classier with the football than the Seagulls. We were speaking pre-game about who's going to, replace Sabrina Frederick in that forward line, and it was Imogen Barnett who did a fantastic job kicking 3 goals. She was always a fantastic aerial presence up forward. We saw her push up the ground as well. She did it all around, and I can't wait to have a chat with her shortly.
Yes, Luana Williams will be speaking with her on the on the half-forward flank.
We've just seen a dog attack.
One of the little pugs out there. Let's head on down to the boundary line, and we'll go with Luana Williams, who's changed to Imogen Barnett.
Imogen, hello. Congratulations on the game today. Must feel pretty good.
Yeah, it feels great to get a win on the board. We came out here with a job to do, and we got it done today, and I'm super proud of everyone's efforts.
Oh, I probably should let you go. I think they want to have a team photo.
Oh, yeah.
Well, see if you can get her after she gets that team photo. You've got to do the social media stuff, don't you, boys?
It's important, especially in this day and age.
Here comes
All right,
Imogen.
she's just coming back now.
Superstar.
And for yourself as well, congratulations. 3 goals today. Quite a good performance from yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. My aim today was just to come out, relax, and have a bit of fun. I've sort of put a lot of pressure on myself the last couple of weeks in the AFL, but it was awesome to come back out, play a full game, and, get a few on the board.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
That's Imogen Barnett speaking with Luana Williams. And Luana, just before we wrap up with you on the boundary line, again, despite the win today for Collingwood, there is one injury news to come out of today's match.
Yes, there was. Sarah King has hurt her hand, so I guess we will see how that goes across the week and whether it's going to heal for her to be able to play next week.
In the end, the ruck work being done admirably by Neve O'Connor and also by Bella Smith. Boys, as we wrap up here, Toby, you obviously have the top possession getters today for both sides. Williamstown can hold their head high, but again, when you break it down, 6-2, 2-6, they had the same amount of scoring shots, but straight kicking is good footy.
Yeah, I think Penny might spend an extra half an hour or so at training throughout the week on the goal kicking as Williamstown walk off here to the applaud of their faithful. They've come out in big numbers. Almost feels like a home game out here at Victoria Park. But yeah, Williamstown, a very respectful side. There's no doubt about that. Had they converted their opportunities throughout that second and third term, this could be a very different story that we'd be talking about after today's match.
Well, we're just about to wrap things up very shortly here on WARFradio.com. A reminder for those watching the VFLW YouTube stream as well, we do have coverage, radio and YouTube stream coverage of the game between Carlton and Essendon. That is coming up this afternoon at Icon.